Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Average Overlanders podcast. I'm Jared.
And I'm Ben.
And we got two guests for you tonight.
Double trouble.
One's returning. You've been on here before, right, Brandon?
Yep. Yeah. So this is Brandon Barberena. I've been here, I think twice now. This is going to be
Twice.
number 3.
Dang.
Oh, shit. It's been 3 times. That's
Triple threat. And am I like the most returning podcaster so far?
Well, you
think you
keep
might be
changing
up there.
jobs, dude. Like, you're like,
Luckily, I still got the same job right now.
Okay,
Liquid Molly. Yeah, it's our Liquid Molly guy.
Yeah. But I dragged my my brother along this time.
Andrew.
So.
Yep. So there's Andrew Barberena. I'm here with you guys and S&B Filters. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Some filter knowledge.
We have no filters here.
Yeah, there is
filters.
no
Yeah.
filters.
There is no
No
filter
filter.
on this podcast. But if we did, it would be S&B.
Yep.
There you go.
There we go.
The one and only. Oh, well, thanks for joining us. And the reason why you guys came on is because you guys had an epic adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Epic
Yes.
adventure.
To
Well,
say
not
the
very
least.
long. Well, I guess it could be long, but
Well, I mean, the thing is that, Brandon has been wheeling Southern California for so long, and I'm sure you have too. You're part of the family.
Yep.
And he's never done John Bull. He's never
Wait a minute.
done John Bull.
No, I've done John Bull.
I'm just kidding.
slow down.
Hold up. So let's get into this from the
Set
start.
the record straight.
Yeah.
So so my brother Andrew, he moved out of California at a young age. How old were you?
Like 13.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So I was.
Well, hold on, wait. What's the age difference between you two?
It's like 11 or 11 years.
Yeah. I think so.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if you're 13, I was 24. So I would take him wheeling with me all the time, or when we'd go.
You're the bad influence.
yeah.
A bad older
Dude,
brother.
he's the reason why I had got into it.
Apparently. Yeah.
But I mean, even before I could drive, we were doing John Bull in my dad's Jeep. So like John Bull was just like a trail that we always did, and he obviously never got to do it in his adult life because he left at 13. And he just recently came back to California. So the whole thing was like, dang, dude, like we got to go wheeling now, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Even though we don't have his Jeep here yet, we just wanted to go.
Wait, did you used to have a Land Rover though?
No, that's not me.
No, that's our brother. Don't insult him like that.
Oh.
Yeah. That big insult
this
right
is this is not the Land Rover brother. Sorry,
second.
Jared.
Oh, come on.
I knew you had a Land Rover brother. I didn't know you had 2 brothers.
there.
Yeah, I got 2 brothers. This is the brother with a YJ on 40s and 60s.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He copied my YJ build.
Yeah. You wish.
Oh, is it red?
No.
Renegade? No. Okay.
But so yeah, it all started off as a regular weekend, and we were just bored. We had no plans, and
We invited
usually
you to
how
Little
it starts.
Smokies.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
you
That
didn't-
was the weekend of Little Smokies.
Smokies.
Yeah.
You should have played it safe.
Yeah, I know. I should have. We should have just gone. But long story short, gas is like super expensive. Like we didn't want to go do anything, and then this guy was like, "Dude, I'll pay for the gas. Like I just want to go wheeling."
Yeah. We're like, fuck it. We're going wheeling.
And like last minute decision, we're just like, all right, fuck it. Let's just go do something. So
Make it out of the house.
it started off with like, let's go to Cleghorn. It's safe, right? We're going to go by ourselves. Because I couldn't find anybody like in the short amount of time that we had to like come with us. And as Ben will attest, I have always preached, never go alone.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you
it's
said that on the podcast before.
Yeah, it's not like getting a flat tire is going to strand you or breaking an axle shaft. It's like the dumb thing like your, I don't know, crank positioning sensor goes out and you're fucked because you're in the middle of nowhere and there's nobody around and the car doesn't run. That's why you don't go alone. And I've always said that, right? Always. I've never gone wheeling alone, ever. But
I have a fucking Gladiator on 40s.
I can do whatever. Yeah.
I'm 4-linked. I'm legit. Have you
So he
heard the
thought.
sound system? Bro, do you even know what kind of car seat covers I have?
Have you seen the rap?
Have you seen the wrap?
carbon fiber, bruh.
Yes. Yes.
So at first we're like, let's go do Cleghorn. It's easy, like no big deal, right? And then my girlfriend was like, oh, I want to go to Big Bear and like do that one trail with all the rocks that we went on. She was referring to Gold Mountain because she thought it was cool.
Yeah, the X. Yeah.
Yeah, so we won't get into that. So,
Different podcast, Ben.
different podcast, Ben.
I was trying to dig. I was just trying to dig.
So I was like, all right.
All the single ladies.
So I was like, all right, Big Bear sounds cool. We can like go hit the fire roads, come down Gold Mountain, and maybe go to Pioneer Town at the end of the
Yeah, you just want to high five some Subarus.
Yeah. So we're like, all right, that sounds cool.
Sounds like a nice
But
day to
then-
drive.
You know, my brother and I being my brother and I,
Yeah.
I know who you are.
we were like, fuck it, let's just fucking do John Bull. Like,
Why not?
we'll run into somebody there. Like, there's going to be Jeeps on the trail. Like,
Yeah.
There has to
it's
be.
it's a Saturday. It's
Fellow
a
Jeepers are so nice.
yeah, they are. They're the nicest
duck
people.
you.
know?
Yeah.
You get done. Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. I was like, worst case scenario, there's plenty of trees, there's rocks, I got a winch. I'll probably get high centered in one spot that I already knew that a Gladiator is just super long to get through.
I mean, you're on 40s though.
Yeah, but even then, it's just so
You still
long.
can get high
Yeah,
centered on that?
there's like one spot that's just it's tight and it's hard to fit that truck in there.
If you had a YJ.
If you had a YJ or you had a drive.
Those are fighting words. But yeah, so we were like, fuck it, let's just go do it. I figured worst case scenario, we'll go up there, we'll run into somebody on the trail. It was a good weather day. I figured there'd be a whole bunch of
Yeah, it was
people up there,
beautiful
right?
out, yeah.
it was great. So we cruised on up and we get to like the fire road and we were airing down. There's like nobody.
And what time is it?
We didn't even get there like super early. What time was it? It was like 8 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say 8.
Was that Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday.
It was Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
So it should be a high traffic day. They're there early in the morning.
Yeah. Early. It
Beautiful
wasn't
day.
Bad. Yeah. It got in the afternoon. It rained, but yeah.
Yep. I packed up all my recovery gear just in case. I even took, I'm ashamed to say it, my Max Tracks. Because I was like, you know what? I am running
By
solo.
yourself. Might as well be safe.
That's his overland plug right there.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
You're technically overlanding.
I actually put the Max Tracks in there. I'm not the guy that has Max Tracks on my truck 24/7 for looks. They only get loaded in when they're possibly needed. So
fair.
They were faded.
my brother's like, yeah, the sun just totally deteriorated those things.
Well,
Were they
They didn't fit it on
official
your
Max
driveway.
Tracks, though?
No,
That's why.
they were
They don't have the UV inhibitors.
they were exit tracks.
Oh.
What? I've never heard of those.
Exactly.
Surprisingly, I bought them at
House strip?
Car Tech, which is pretty legit.
Oh, wow. That must be legit then, right?
But so we pull up, we air down, we get yelled at by some mountain biker.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, was a mountain biker was on John Bull?
No, we're like at the trailhead at the fire roads.
gotcha,
We're just like airing down because you got to like drive through the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So we're like cruising down the neighborhood doing like 20, 25, and this mountain biker like coming towards us just like, got pissed that we were doing 25 miles an hour, and he was like, this is a neighborhood. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing 25. Like, how much slower do you want me to go, bro? I'm not gonna go as slow as your bike. So that was probably an indicator that the day was just gonna go bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red
Turn,
flag.
turn around now, angry mountain biker, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So he was trying to tell you to slow down, and that was his whole purpose.
Yeah, he was all grumpy, but whatever. So we take off down the fire road. From the fire road all the way to the trailhead, we ran into nobody. And I started telling him, I was like, wow, there's like nobody fucking here.
Well, wait a second. So there's two ways to run John Bull.
We ran it the hard way.
North or whatever.
So hard to easy as opposed to easy to hard.
Yeah, we started at the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I mean that's smart if you're by yourself.
Well, that was the plan. I was like, if we're gonna do this, I want to get the hard section out of the way early. That way, I don't got to deal with it later in the afternoon or whatever. So let's just get over it, and then the rest we'll cruise through. So yeah, we started at gatekeeper, pull up. We walked right through it. We got high centered on one spot where I knew I was gonna get high centered at.
How'd you get out?
Just winched it.
You
Just
winched it? Okay.
Yeah, we winched it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You had a YJ.
and so we get through that, and it was it was one of those situations where like I was just trying to play everything safe. Like if I maybe would have given it a little bit more momentum to just
That's
like
not
not
like
high
you.
center.
That's
No,
not
it's
like
not.
you.
Like I'm usually just like
Send it.
Yeah, but I told him I was like, we're by ourselves. Let's
If
just
at
winch.
first you don't succeed, Hit it with some speed.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
Horsepower always prevails, right?
Yeah.
So, we get through Gatekeeper, and then right after Gatekeeper, there's another hard section, a bunch of boulders. And then you get past that, and there's like this other like hard section. And we're just taking the easiest lines through the hard sections just so we can get through because we're by ourselves. The whole time, we don't see nobody. It's just crickets. And I'm like, well, this is cool. Just wide open trail. We're going to get done super quick, right?
Yeah, no traffic. Nice.
We literally get past all the hardest sections. And at one point, I heard like a loud like pop or like a weird sound. And he was like, oh, it was your shock bracket. I was like, okay. We kept going. I think that was one half of the truss breaking.
Probably. Just didn't realize it.
Yeah. And then we continued on not much further. The whole distance of the trail that we covered the entire day was half a mile.
Yeah.
Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Because I've actually never done John Bull.
yeah, we only did half a mile. And half a mile, you get past all the hard stuff. And then after that, it's just like you're just falling down boulders and that's it. So, I hear one loud pop and I was like, oh, okay. It's a shock thing dragging across a rock or something. And then we made it maybe another 300-400 feet. And we were like making a right-hand turn up a hill, side loading the truck to the right. Like the truck was leaning to the passenger side going uphill. It wasn't hard. There was like one rock that was dragging a sidewall across. Not a big deal. And as we're going across, I'm watching my passenger side rearview mirror because I can see the rock on my tire. And as I'm going across, I just hear a pop. And I go, whoa, that was weird. And I look out my driver's side mirror and I see my driver's side rear tire sticking like way out the fender. And I was like, that's really weird. And I looked out the other mirror and now my other tire is like totally covered. I'm like, yeah, my tires stick out.
Yeah.
And then I backed up and it backed up like a couple inches and the truck just stopped by itself. I was like, oh,
Got bound
I
up.
was like, something's bound up. Like what? And I knew in my head that something happened with the upper control arms because for those that don't know, my Gladiator is 4-linked in the back. There is no track bar. So if you don't understand suspension geometry or don't know how it works, a track bar centers the rear axle or the front underneath the rig. Well, since my truck is 4-linked, it relies on the upper control arms that are triangulated to center the axle. So I immediately knew I must have broken upper control arm and now it's all out of whack. So I jump out and I'm expecting one control arm to be broken. I was like, we can ratchet strap it or something. And I look underneath and I didn't break a control arm. There's a truss, which I'm going to leave unnamed because...
Aftermarket truss?
Yes.
Okay.
My buddy
Who
owns this.
welded it?
I welded it. I welded it. But the welds did not break.
Yeah, I remember seeing the picture. It wasn't the welds.
Yeah, the welds did not break. The welds were perfect on the axle still. The metal on the truss fatigued and literally ripped off.
Wow.
It ripped on the upper part of the weld.
No, right. I mean it ripped like where there was no weld. It was like in no man's land. It was like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was like the thinnest point. They has some cutouts for the nuts to go through, and those cutouts make like a thin point, and it broke right there on both sides. So
it must have been under a lot of stress, though.
Well, yeah, and that truss not only centers the axle, but also keeps the axle from rotating up and down, like your pinion pointing up and down. So with that truss ripping off, my pinion was now pointing at the sky. The rear drive shaft was completely bound up on the U-joint, about to break it. Yeah. And my rear axle was just completely off
sideways. Yeah.
So I remember getting out and because when we heard the
and
pop.
What time is it now? What time is it now? You're like half hour in?
It was 10 a.m. So we aired down at 8.
So like 2 hours.
We probably got to the Gatekeeper by like 8:45, 9 because we took our time airing down. And then we broke down at 10. We were only like an hour into the trail. Like we were breezing through it pretty much.
And what time pretend everything went smooth sailing. How long would it take from air down to air up?
Normally.
What should have been?
Air down to air up
to run John Bull.
On that day with, by the looks of it, there's no rigs. We probably should have been done and airing back up by like 1 o'clock.
Oh, nice easy day.
Yeah. Totally nice.
Just
easy
after
day.
lunch.
And that was the plan. Like we brought some snacks, some food, some water, but not a lot. and we were going to go have lunch in town and go home.
Nice.
Even brought the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, you had dogs with you?
Yes. Oh, that
yeah.
was the cherry on top of the fucking story.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I forgot about that. I forgot
mean,
about
We'll get
that.
there.
That's
To put
right.
it in perspective, me and 2 other buddies a few years ago ran Dishpan Springs, which is one of the hardest trails in Big Bear, to Holcomb Creek, which is one of the hardest trails in Big Bear, to John Bull, to Gold Mountain, which are all the hardest trails in Big Bear. And we got it all done between the hours of like 7 a.m. to like 4 p.m. We did all the trails in one day. We just breezed through it. So I really thought we'd get done with John Bull pretty fucking quick, especially with just one rig. So it's funny. So the pop happens, right? And he goes, "Oh, I think that was your shock mount again." And I looked at the mirror like, I don't think that was a shock mount.
A little more than that.
At this point, like I
He's
knew
a filter guy. He doesn't know about it.
Right.
I was like, that most definitely was not a shock mount. So I get out and I look underneath, and I just remember thinking to myself, I was like, oh fuck, I just did what I've told everybody not to ever do, and now I'm that guy.
Yep.
That fucking guy.
I think he was still sitting in the truck because like he thought nothing had happened. My girlfriend was just like chilling there, like looking at her nails, like, is this over yet?
Oh, so she was with you.
Oh, okay.
So she in the back seat or something?
She
with the
was in
dog?
the front with the air conditioning blowing on her, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in the back with the dog.
Yes.
yeah.
With 2 dogs.
You know the pecking order.
Yeah. Exactly. Thanks.
Yep. That adds to the story at the end with him in the backseat of the dogs.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I'm not gonna ruin it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get up from underneath the truck and I look in the window and I'm like, I just told him, I was like, guys, we're totally fucked. Like I usually sugarcoat things. Like
Yeah.
Ben knows.
no, he
not
Okay,
Ben knows.
Let me give you an example.
Everybody knows. I'm usually the guy that's like, it's fine. It's fine.
Even if he thinks it's a really bad, like this is fucked, he'll be like, "Nah, dude, we're good. We're good. We'll get out of it. No problem, man."
Yeah.
And that's what he's done to me before. And he's like, "Nah, dude, you didn't almost flip over. You're good. You're fine.
You're fine, dude.
Just
Everything's
go,
good.
man.
Yep.
See, no big deal."
So when you're saying it's fucked,
It's royally fucked.
Yeah. Always bad.
Yeah. I remember like at that point, like a million things were running through my head before I said anything. And I was like, I hope I have cell phone reception because otherwise we're going to probably have to hike out of here. And luckily we had used a bunch of ratchet straps to like strap stuff down in the bed of the truck. And I always keep like 2 ratchet straps behind the rear seat.
yeah, always good to have.
So, immediately I was like, okay, we gotta get the truck on flat ground. So you tell him what's going on, and he jumps out. And I guess you can give your input
Your
of the
assessment
situation
of the
once
situation
he
there.
jumped
Well,
out.
I mean, he had already said it. We were fucked. Like, I took a peek under. I was like, that is not good.
That's not going
Like,
anywhere.
that axle is not where it's supposed to be right now.
Yeah. My biggest worry at that point was breaking the rear axle U-joint because it was all bound up on it, right?
Yeah.
yeah, how
I
do
was
you
like-
bound it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how more fucked would we be if we break the rear drive line now? We're on an uphill, the rear axle, and we got all those boulders behind us.
Yeah.
And that was the other part. I was like, okay, so like if we can get this like somewhat trail repaired, which way do I fucking exit?
Yeah, you the shorter distance through the fucking rock garden or
Yeah, because we had either like 3 or 4 miles of like still significant boulders ahead of us. It's not easy. It's easier, but it's still something that you probably need 35s and at least a locker to go through. It's not easy.
yeah.
So it's either I go through 3 or 4 miles of that with it holding together, or I turn around and I go back through the boulder field and the gatekeeper, half a mile.
Decisions.
So, it's like all these things are going through my head. So
And you still have to get it moving first. But
you got to get it moving.
Yeah.
And so I immediately, we jump out and I'm like, first off, this thing's totally side loaded. We get underneath it with a ratchet strap and we try using the ratchet strap to recenter the axle. It was just way too much weight. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna budge.
So we get the winch out and we snatch block to a tree and back to the rear bumper.
Okay,
And we
nice.
start winching it, and that pulls the body of the truck back over the rear axle, and we center it that way.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that worked out. We're like, oh,
Smart.
we're going.
Yeah. We did something.
Yeah, it was going really smooth right there. I was like, okay, and we're totally alone, right? At this point, we're alone.
Yeah.
It's like crickets.
Nobody's come by.
No.
We actually had the engine off for a minute, and we were like listening to hear if we heard engines. There's nothing. It was just like vultures, like,
Yeah, waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
Circling around.
All you hear is
Yeah.
everybody quiet. You're fucked.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you could still hear my echo, like we're fucked.
You're fucked.
So we get one ratchet under there because I had limited ratchet straps at that point. I had
Yeah.
2 full ratchets that were in the back of my truck.
Like the heavy load ones.
No, they were like the 1-inch wide ones.
Oh, okay.
The ones that you used to like tie down your dirt
Everything.
bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're limited to that. So I had 2 that were not from Harbor Freight.
Ouch.
Good to specify. Yeah.
Yep. 2 that were not from Harbor Freight. Those were the good ones, and they were full length. And then all the other ratchet straps that I had were ratchet straps that I've cut to length to just tie stuff down my truck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all really short because they're just meant for that one specific
Like
thing.
hold down your fridge or.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't have all
Tire.
that slack and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like I was like, okay, this is all I got to work with. I'm in like survival mode now, right? Like kind of like itemizing things in my head. Like what can I use? So we used the one long good one to strap it from the frame to the axle and center it that way. We needed an X to really center it, but I didn't want to utilize another strap and potentially break it when it was side loaded only one way at that current time. So did that, and then we had the issue of the pinion pointing to the sky.
Yep.
How do you get that down?
Yeah, that was a bit of a challenge. So we started first. We're like, okay, let's put a ratchet strap to like the where the upper control arms mount or something to try and ratchet strap it back down. Wouldn't fucking move.
No way.
Then we
Like
got
all the way to the truck was on it.
yeah.
Oh.
Then we got the winch and we ran the winch line underneath the truck across the front axle to the rear axle.
Pull it down.
Wrapped it around the wrapped a tree saver around the pinion and tried pulling it down that way. And we gave it a couple tugs and it got like really tense and wasn't really doing anything.
It wasn't moving, so it was ready to break.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, we need to stop. We cannot lose this winch line. We lose this winch line, we're just turn the truck off and start hiking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, no, that's not going to work. So I was trying to think like, why is this thing like so like loaded up and like pointing up? I was like, okay, it's loaded with torque. It's in park right now. The truck is rolled
you
back on the
reverse.
incline.
Yeah, you
You have
drag
to roll
backwards.
it forward.
Yep. So we had to roll forward. So we
Yeah.
again winched, hooked to a tree in front of us, and we started winching it forward. And my brother was like, "Oh yeah, it's moving.
Nice.
So it moved down a little bit, but then it got to a point where like it just didn't want to move anymore, and it still wasn't anywhere where it was like drivable.
Yeah.
So so then at that point we that's when I put it in reverse, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we started doing some like mathematical equations in their heads.
On the fly.
You had Matt Damon up there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Full mind. Yeah.
Doing some calculations.
Yeah, dude.
Or no, who was it? It was
Goodwill Hunting.
no, the girl.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah, she's like. Anyway, sorry.
So we had the winch pulling forward, and I put the truck in reverse and just slowly let off the brake pedal
yeah,
and let it release the tension from the pinion. And now the axle was trying to go backwards and the winch was pulling forward.
Oh, he still had it going forward.
Yep. And I
Okay.
could just just barely tap the winch controller. And every single time I tap it, my brother was watching the pinion and it'd go down.
Nice.
And we were able to get it down like perfectly.
Yeah. Pretty much perfect.
And so then we're like, okay, it's in like the perfect spot. Let's ratchet strap everything in place, right? Because again, now we're like, how long were we into at this point?
like noon.
11:30 ish.
Yeah,
Something like
we
that.
were probably like an hour and a half into our solo recovery at
Since
this
the
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, an hour and a half on Jumbo.
Hour tour. Oh, sorry.
No, for real. It was legit like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
situation here. And we were like, hour and a half into this. We haven't seen any rigs come by.
Still,
Still.
Haven't
It's a
heard
nice
nothing.
day.
And
crazy.
that's when I started telling him, I was like, dude, this is insane. I can't believe we
it's almost a
haven't
little
run
bit
into a
too
rig.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's such a good day to go wheeling. It's a Saturday. There's like no major off-road events going on today. Like people should be here. Like
Besides the Little Smokies.
That's where everybody was. That's why the trail. was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Note to self: don't go wheeling the days that the average overlanders do.
Have an
events.
event. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I started expressing to him. I was like, this is so weird. I can't believe I haven't run into anybody. And so at that point, I knew we needed a welder. Like I was like, we can ratchet strap this thing all we want.
Well, you have it perfectly centered. You have the pinion right and everything. If you had a welder,
Just
then
to
it
get
would just
hold in
like,
place. Yeah.
Yeah. We could have just burned it back on and put some booger welds on there and have
Limped
have
it home. Yeah.
hold, right?
Yep.
So we strapped it as much as we could, and we're like, okay, we're good. Let's try and move it forward, and we'll do a 3-point turn up ahead and turn around. Like, all right. So we moved. How much did we move? You tell them how much the vehicle moved before all shit broke loose again.
An inch. If we got lucky.
What? Like one tread?
Guys, literally, I think we moved like an inch, and everything just poof. All the straps broke.
Grenades?
Yeah, it sounded like it exploded
Everything
again.
fucking
Oh,
broke.
shit.
And I was like, what the hell? Like we had like 4 fucking straps holding everything down. Each one was rated at like 1,500 pounds. So it was like 6,000 pounds of like load
Damn.
force that
Yeah.
You
can
must
hold
have
it
been
together.
really like.
Well, yeah, it was really sideways. It was
Yeah.
super loaded up. Like I'm no like mathematician here, but apparently there's a lot of side loads.
It's called mathematician.
Yeah, yes.
Not math magician. I like yours better though.
Well, I was
wizardry, so
I was
I don't
totally
know.
picturing like like
Yeah, the
the
pointy
hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, Dumbledore.
I'm not a math magician. That's what I'm gonna say from now on, dude. I love that.
So yeah, like we moved an inch and everything broke. The pinion shot back to the sky, like it was a mess.
At that
back to
point,
square
didn't the
one.
other side of the truss break?
I don't know. I think oh no, yeah, I think maybe one side was like barely holding on.
Yeah.
The truss just completely broke off at that point. So I was like, oh my God.
So now you have a free float axle.
Yeah. Yeah. All it had was like the 2 lower arms just like holding on for dear life.
Useless. Yeah.
Yep. So again, we redid what we had originally done, snatch blocked, winched forward, put in reverse, got everything back lined up. It was like 1 o'clock. And then some dude rolls up finally. It's like it was like
himself?
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, it was him and one other dude. They rolled
Like
up.
what you should have done. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he rolls up, and he's actually from 4-Wheel Parts. Super cool guy. He's
Okay.
like a salesman at one of the 4-Wheel Parts stores somewhere. And if he hears this, I'm sorry, but when we started hearing engines, I was like, "Oh, I hear an engine. There's somebody coming. Thank God." And then I immediately was like, I just hope it's not like some dude in the JL with a bunch of bolt-ons who will probably not have anything with him.
4-wheel parts.
What rolls around the corner? Fucking JL. And the second I saw it, I was like, this guy definitely doesn't have a welder.
You want
the
a
beat-up
fucking Toyota pickup first, like
Old lady
Yes.
called the Tacoma.
cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit. So it was funny because he must have had an exhaust on it or something, because in the distance when I first heard
how
the
you
engine,
know. That's how you know.
I told him, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty deep. That might be a V8. I was like, if it's something with a V8, like an
You gotta
aftermarket swap
jam.
V8, he's gonna have some tools with him.
Right. Exactly.
But he rolls around the corner, and it was definitely not a V8. It wasn't just a bolt-on JL, which
At least it wasn't the 4XE.
Right.
so yeah. So he
I
rolls
bet he
up.
got farther than you, though.
Yeah.
I hope it's not some guy with some bolt-ons. Made it further than you.
But you know what? He was like the nicest guy there and actually helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it was hilarious when I was like, oh, I hope it's not a jail with bolt-on. Comes around the corner.
JL
Jail.
bolt-on.
I was like, oh, we're still screwed. He probably only has rubber ducks.
We can stack them and
The ultimate troll would have been like, here's a rubber ducky.
I think he actually did have rubber ducks on the
he did.
dash.
Definitely. Definitely.
and you hate rubber ducks, but
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
fucking despise rubber
It's
ducks.
kind of like those Karens that people like kick over.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
that's how he is with rubber ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he rolls up. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And I explained to him. He's like, you can just tell in his head. He's like, "Oh,
What?
yeah." It was one of those moments where like, that sounds really complicated. Let me know when you're done fixing it. And like in my head, I was like, I can't fix this right now. But
Did he offer to like go get parts or?
no, at that point, he was. I think he was like, these guys can figure it out, and they were just like spectating from their rigs and air conditioning.
Yeah.
And we were like laying on the floor, pulling winch line.
They had a charcuterie board and they were.
Yeah.
It's like the Ron Swanson in Lowe's, and
Yep.
guy comes up, can I help? He's like, I know more than you. Yeah, basically.
You know, in their defense, and not to make us look good or anything, because we were definitely not doing anything good.
Obviously.
I think we just looked like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah,
He looked the
definitely.
part.
Because we were
we
like
got
pulling legit, like pulling snatch blocks out, like doing all this, blah blah blah.
They
Like,
probably pulled up like, oh, these guys fucking, they know what they're doing. This is
Right.
doll shit right here. Come on.
Yeah.
dude.
Little do they know, they're like, we're fucked.
yeah, we were sweating bullets, man. We were like, oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
So finally, like, we get to a point where like we were ready to strap it all down again for like the third time, and I was like, hey, like, do you just happen to have any extra ratchet straps? He's like, oh yeah, I just bought a brand new pack at Home Depot. Pulls it out 4 ratchet straps. Like,
Sick.
Money.
sweet, dude. I was like, bro, give me your number. I will Venmo you after this. Like, I need
Ratchet
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like every single one.
Price just went up.
So he hooked me up with 4 ratchet straps, and I mean, how many times did we attempt to move the truck before we actually were able to move it?
Gosh, dude, we attempted so many times. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think we moved it 1 inch at a time, like 5 times.
Because we kept trying to go forward.
Oh, you would get it set again, ratchet strap it up, and then attempt to move it?
Yeah, because ahead of us, like 3 car lengths ahead of us, there was a spot that was fairly flat, and there's a big opening, and it looked like I could turn the truck around. Because that's what I wanted to do. I made the decision to go back the way we came.
Could you winch it forward? Like just drag it?
We were trying to, but it was like uphill, and just I didn't want to break the winch.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Don't want to push
synthetic
it.
line,
That's
or-
all you got.
what's that?
Synthetic line?
Yeah, synthetic line. Yep. And not that the winch couldn't do it. It's just I was trying to save everything I could save. So I was trying to just be gentle with
Exhaust all your other options.
Yeah.
First.
Yep.
and-
Yep.
Yeah.
it. So, but even with pulling it forward and using the winch, because that's what we were doing, the pinion just kept rotating up. So the straps centering the axle was holding it fine. But the second we'd make any progress going forward, the straps trying to keep the pinion down would just give way, and the pinion would go to the sky. Like, there was a ton of force on it. And then we ran the risk of breaking the U-joint. So those guys, after sitting there watching us for like 2 or 3 hours
So
struggling.
they waited.
Yeah,
They
there's
actually hung out and moral support. Hey, you
yeah.
know
Well,
it.
there was
No, but
there
that's
was no
nice.
You're
there
good
was
at that,
yeah
man.
there,
It's kinda like-
there was no way around us.
Yeah.
Their only choice was to turn around, and I think they were just hoping that we'd get out of the way so they could continue.
Oh, you're
up.
blocking the trail.
Yeah, I was completely
Oh, yeah.
blocking the trail. There's,
Gotcha.
there's no way.
That guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were that guy.
We'll get to that.
Yep. Yep. So we were blocking them for like 2 hours, and they're like, "Hey, they're like, well, we're gonna turn around, but here's my number. If you're still stuck up here after a while, give me a call, shoot me a text message, and we'll like round up some troops to come up."
Oh, that's rad.
And I was like, "All right, cool. I appreciate it." And just as a plug, I had already like text messaged like everybody. I blew everybody up. I sent.
Yeah, Rory told me before the podcast that he specifically said he wasn't going to help you.
I believe it. I believe it.
Fuck that guy.
He's like, I already knew that I wasn't going to help him.
But yeah, I had blown up everybody, and everybody was trying to figure out a way to help me. But pretty much everybody that I reached out to, like, either wasn't nearby, was not in the state, their
were at
rig
Little
was taken
Smokies.
apart. They were at Little Smokies. That was like 90% of the Little Smokies attendance.
Bro, I was hammered at that point. 1 o'clock.
We didn't have these.
I
servers.
actually
1
did
o'clock
not
on that
text
Saturday?
you because
You
I was
didn't.
like, your Mini Cooper doesn't have a winch or welders. So.
Hey, I was in like Colorado. Just say it.
But yeah, I was trying to reach out to everybody I knew that maybe had a welder or like a super built rig that could like maybe drag my pile
Yeah,
of
just
shit
the rest
out
of the way.
You need like Matt's off-road recovery or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I even had one buddy that he was working on his Bronco. He's got like a badass long travel Bronco. He had no seats in it. He was putting PRP seats in it, and he's like, "Well, I'll go get you. I have a welder, but I got to put my seats back in." So he was like scrambling in like Orange County to put it back together, try and come get me during all this is happening. And so they say they're going to turn around. I'm like, all right, guys. And then I see them back up, and they backed up into like this big open clearing that was behind us. I was like, oh shit, there's room to back up downhill. So I told him, I was like, hey guys, we're going to try backing up. We're going to take my drive shaft off because we're just rolling downhill.
front-wheel drive.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, we'll take the rear drive shaft off. We'll just roll it down. Doesn't matter what the pinion does. And we'll follow you out if you guys are going to turn around. And they're like, all right, cool. So they waited for us some more. So they turned all their rigs around. We're able to back up. We backed up pretty quick, actually.
Don't forget about the limit strap
Oh, dude.
control arm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was a cool trail repair here. So
okay.
as part of our survival kit here,
Yeah.
my truck has limit straps on it.
All right, yeah.
And they're mounted to the original upper control arm mount.
Okay.
So they're like in the good spot to like pull from, right? I said, you know what? Let's just
Make a control arm out of a fucking limit strap.
yeah, because the pinion was going up and we had to pull the axle forward in order to bring the pinion back down. So we let go the limit straps at the frame end, mounted them to the OE upper control arm mount, and used baling wire to like hold them on there.
Yeah, because it wasn't long enough.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds legit, dude. What are you talking about, dude?
Right? Yeah, they were like 1 inch short of being the perfect length of a JT upper control.
No way.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that, we could just put a bolt through it and just bolted them on, which would
So
have been
note to
sick.
self: keep an extra 1 inch longer limit strap in your kit.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And so yeah, we did that, and that kind of helped out some, and we were able to back up, and we got into like that open clearing spot, and we were like, all right, well, let's just do what we can and drive this bitch out of here, right? And as soon as we see that, this other group shows up, and now it's like, I don't know, it was like 3
Yeah.
or something. This other group shows up, and these guys are like rolling hard, right? Like 60s, tons, 40s, V8s, beat up Toyotas.
Welder.
I was like, I looked at him, I was like, somebody has a welder here for sure.
Yep.
And sure enough, dude, this crusty old man in this built ass fucking Jeep comes walking up. He's like, hey guys, what's going on? He's
like,
probably,
"What's up,
he's probably talking shit on my red leather at this point. I'm like, wow,
for sure.
I'm like, I look like that guy right now.
Yeah.
He's like, is that cat skins?
Exactly. I'm like, I'm the guy that I talk all the shit on right now. Like, I am
are
that
him.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm the yuppie dude in the expensive Jeep.
Hold on. Are you wearing a polo?
No, like, so yeah, this dude walks up and he's like, oh yeah, this and that, blah blah blah. So long story short, he whips out his welder. He's got a what are they called? What was the name of that welder? It was fucking cool.
Like one of those little Miller flat packs or something, or is it,
No, it was
battery.
Carnage welder.
Oh, yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
like the stick where you just hook it up to your battery and you can drag
No,
like,
dude,
the
this
battery
thing
out?
was a MIG welder.
Yep.
MIG welder
Like
battery
gun and
pack.
everything?
Yeah, it looks like those camera cases you got right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It comes in a case like that.
Yeah, I used to have like a little Miller like that.
Yeah, and
it
it
was like
has battery packs inside of it that run the welder, and it has like a 20-minute continuous welding time until it runs out of battery.
20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So he told us, he's like, oh,
Like
yeah.
one shot.
Yeah, he told us, like, oh, yeah, as long as, we can weld it in under 20 minutes and we're good. And I was like, okay, 20 minutes. I mean, we only need like 4 inches of weld on each side. It can't, we should be good. So we set it on there, but the truss was like all freaking bent. So, of course, nothing lines up right. Like, we could either get it to weld really good on one side and it's like not even touching on the other side, or vice versa. So we spent some time like trying to bend things around and trying to just get it
Tight.
on there so we can get a weld. And he starts welding it. And I don't think it was like fully charged, or maybe
Nope.
it's been a long time since he had charged it.
Probably.
He probably never uses. He didn't think about it.
Right. Yeah, because he's got like tons and like huge stuff under his Jeep.
He doesn't have red leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have red leather.
He's like, here's a duck.
No, he probably pulls out a duck and says, you dropped your duck on the trail.
Yeah.
Don't litter. Go back to the city, boy. But
You got a purty interior.
sure is fancy there.
Bumpity bump.
So he manages. I mean, it took him, dude. Not only did he have a welder, but then he's like, oh, let me go get my grinder. Dude pulls out a 4-inch angle grinder, battery powered, and starts like cleaning up like the welcher of this and all. I mean, it was like
Off-road fabrication.
Yeah, for real.
yeah, it was legit. So he like
That's the guy you
preps
want
it
on
and all
trail.
that. and he welds one side, and it gets like a pretty good weld on there, right? And I'm like, all right, we're good. And then he's looking at the other side, and we like get it on there, and he puts some weld on it, and he can only weld so much because there's a big old gap. And he's like, oh, you know what? I got some angle iron in the back of my Jeep. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, what else you got back there, bro? Like,
Yeah, for real. You had a whole fab shop with him.
so he brings out some angle iron, and we're like cutting pieces of angle iron, and like,
He's all got a paint booth too.
Right.
yeah. And we stack it on there, and he welds the one side that got the good weld. He welds that one first, which I'm not talking shit on the guy at all, but we probably should have done the other side in hindsight, but we didn't know. So he welds that side on. It looks good. He puts the other side on. He starts welding it, and it starts making all kinds of funky sputtering sounds. Yeah. And I looked down at the voltage meter of the welder, and it's like low.
Yeah.
And I knew at that point, I was like, oh, fuck, this thing's running out of battery, right?
What kind of batteries are they? Like deep cycle? Whatever?
Yeah. I asked him, I thought they were like maybe lithium ion because the case wasn't that big. But yeah, no, he told me it's just some deep cycle batteries that are in there.
There's no way to like charge it like on the trail, like if anybody had like an inverter or something.
So that was the next step. He's like, oh yeah, if we run out of weld here, like this guy was super cool. Like he didn't care that we were blocking like.
He's
Dude,
like,
it-
I
it's
get to
stoked.
use my shit.
Yeah.
At this point, at first there was nobody on the trail. At this point, there was like 15 rigs waiting in line, and we were like 4 hours in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't really care. He was like, yeah, I'm just here to help. Like this guy's OG. Like this is like
This is
a
what he
true.
lives for.
He probably does that every
Yeah,
weekend, dude.
For
yeah,
sure.
and the thing that I was
rad.
most appreciative about is that I've been in his shoes before, where like I roll up to broken people, or like I'm in a huge group and people break, and I'm like, fuck it, this is what we come here for. If we spend all day fixing your rig and turn around and go back home, that's all part of the fun. Who cares?
That was the trip.
Yep.
Yeah, we
You
did
have
that
a
with the
story to
Subaru,
tell.
remember?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep, exactly. So I was like, all right, cool. Like this is what the off-road community is all about, right? So so he tells me, he's like, oh yeah, we can hook up batteries to it. He's got like these jumper cables that
Yeah,
attach
daisy
to it.
chain them and
Yep, and we pull batteries out of Jeeps and we daisy chain some batteries on there and just keep welding. He's like, oh yeah, we can do that. And as he's telling me that, this drunk dude comes up from he hiked his way up from the trail.
Oh, he's a drunk dude.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, what's taking so long? This and that, blah, blah, blah. You guys, move out of the way. And to provide some context here, the guy welding me is that guy's trail group leader. Like he's the one leading their run.
yeah.
And I'm in the flat space off of the trail. It's the welding guy's Jeep that's blocking the trail at this point.
Oh, because he stopped to help you, so he's blocking.
So he's
the trail.
mad at his own leader.
He's mad at his own group for stopping to help us weld.
It's obviously his first time
Yeah.
on a trail.
So he just mouthed off some things.
I bet he
and
was drinking Bud Light, wasn't he?
probably.
Probably.
Yeah. So he mouthed off some shit, and I think everybody heard him and everybody ignored him, and he just walked off.
Yeah.
What
whatever
are you doing at this point, Andrew?
I was in the Jeep holding the brakes down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in the Jeep holding the brakes. I had him cutting the metal. That way the welding guy could be underneath it.
Yeah, because you fucked up your hand.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
So in the middle of the solar recovery before anybody showed up, I can't remember what I did, but yeah, I almost broke my hand, my right hand.
Yeah.
Like my hand was all swollen, my wrist and my thumb were all swollen for a couple days afterwards. Like
Yep.
Jeez.
You don't remember what you did?
no,
It was, I remember. We were pulling the winch line and you wrapped your hand around the line and yanked it. And
Yeah,
we were
so
both
the-
yanking the line because it was stuck.
so the winch line was stuck on the drum. We were trying to
so you're
free
trying to
spool
get a
it.
better grip.
Yeah.
on
So
it.
we were trying to just yank it out of there by ourselves. And I wrapped my hand around it to yank it. And when I think he pulled it before I pulled.
Yep.
And
So he cinched it down and then you yanked it.
Yep. And it just twisted my wrist all around and pulled my thumb back. And yeah, it was really close to breaking my wrist, which
Jeez.
was just added to the chaos.
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Oh,
So, so we're welding. We got one side welded. It's got angle iron on it. The other side's half-ass welded with some angle iron on it. Drunk guy comes up. He's mad. And then my girlfriend, I hear my girlfriend say, Everest, my dog, because the two dogs were inside the Jeep, just took a shit in the rear seat.
insult to injury.
On the red leather.
And to add to that, my dog doesn't shit like solid shits. He's,
Saucy.
yeah, he's
Very soft.
Yeah. He had the shits that day. It was bad. So it was explosive, right? like watery diarrhea.
Broken
Yeah.
down on John Bull's.
It was a whole lot of gravy in the backseat
Yeah.
right there.
So I
Biscuits and gravy.
gotta give it up to her, even though gotta give it up to her. She cleaned the shit from the backseat while we were working on the Jeep.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
All right.
And without much complaining at all. I actually didn't even hear about it until afterwards.
Probably because she just wanted to get home.
Yeah, she didn't want to smell it either. So
She's like, you know what? I want to complain, but I shouldn't because I want to get home.
Yeah, I actually didn't even see it, but my brother saw it. And
It was pretty gnarly. It was bad. So like the worst part is that both dogs are back there, and I have a little Labrador that she doesn't stop wagging her tail.
Oh, just spread
So she started spraying that shit all over the Jeep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's real.
Yep.
yeah, so the seats are covered in dog shit. The dogs are covered in dog shit. I'm under the Jeep covered in
Broken hand.
broken hand, half a weld, angry drunk guy.
Sounds like a great Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, it's great.
Moral of the story, you should have gone a little Smokey's camp out.
I kid you not. At one point, I looked over at my brother and I was like, I'm fucking buying a boat with a barbecue and a big old stereo system, and we're just gonna float around and look at boobs. I'm tired of this shit.
Yes. Bro, we should do that anyways.
Yep. I was so over it at that point.
I hate Jeeps.
Yeah. And so we get everything welded back up, and we're like under there, like struggling to put the drive shaft back on. And then drunk dude comes back to like say a few choice words again. And this time he got a little out of hand. I don't remember what the fuck happened, but he was like, hey, what the fuck's going on? You guys been here for 3 hours. You guys need to get out of the way. And the whole time, I'm like looking at the guy like, we are out of the way. It's your guy that's blocking the trail. We're off to the side.
Yeah.
And your guy is welding my shit up and you're following him. Like, tell your guy to move or something. I don't know. Get mad at your guy. Like, I didn't get it, but he got all pissed off. And
You were laying under the Jeep.
I was laying under the Jeep putting a drive shaft on. Flashback to me and Ben putting drive shafts on. He was in.
He almost died.
Another near death experience.
I've heard that one.
Yep. And he was in the Jeep holding the brakes. So drunk dude thought he was the owner of the Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he came after me first.
He was about to like deck my brother. Like,
Really?
legit.
Yeah.
Like, he was about to start a fist fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
What the fuck?
so he's like yelling at my brother. What was he saying?
He's like, whose Jeep is this? Blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck cares? Like, it's not yours. Like, back the fuck off. Like, you're not helping.
Yeah, and the whole time, like, so they're arguing, and I'm laying underneath the Jeep, like, fucking just wrenching, just like ignoring it.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, I was fed up. I was like, hey, dude, like, you're the kind of guy that ruins this community. Like, if I was out here and I saw your ass broken, I would be the guy helping you, bringing out whatever I got, no questions asked. Like, I'll be helping you out.
Yep.
And I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was like, you're the guy that brings that ruins the community. He's like, you know what's going to ruin things when I kick you in the face or something.
Yeah,
like
kick your fucking head off. He said.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. When I kick your head off or some shit. And I was laying under the Jeep, and I was like, I could just like kick your fucking ankles right now, and you will plow down on that rock and die.
Yeah.
I was so livid. I was like, I just need to get out of here. So I was like, okay, cool, man. And I just
Greatest answer.
Cool
though,
story,
dude.
bro.
Cool story, bro.
I kept putting my fucking drive shaft on, and I don't know. He stood there still mumbling some fucking shit, and finally walked off. I don't know what, but legit, my girlfriend started recording because she thought we were gonna get in a fist fight. Like legit.
The Jeep was in neutral. I was ready to throw that thing apart, put that transfer case in 4 low so it'll stay there and hop out. But
Yeah.
it was not cool.
So we get it all done, and we're like, all right, we're good. Like, we're welded. The guy that welded it, he's like, I don't trust these welds whatsoever. Like,
Hey, fair.
He was just sign his liability.
Yeah,
Right. He was very adamant about it.
oh yeah, he was super adamant. He's like, I do not trust these welds at all. This and that, blah blah. Be super careful. And he was super nice. He's like, I wish I could turn around and go back with you guys to make sure you get out of here.
That's rad.
He's like, but I got this group with me. And I was like,
I got super drunk dude with me.
I got babysit his ass. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I was like, it's cool. I think we should be good. I'm going to throw some ratchet straps on top of the truss anyways to help alleviate the welds. And I think we'll get out of here. So, I mean, logic, it seemed like it would work. It's welded on there.
Yeah, it should be.
Plus, it has ratchet straps holding it on. Like, it should be good. It should just make it to the end, right? So I'm like, all right, sayonara. They take off. They all take off up the trail. And I'll let Andrew tell this part of the story.
What, as a guy drives by or what?
No. They all leave.
Oh, yeah, they all leave.
We put the Jeep in drive.
Put the Jeep in drive, put everything back together, and start heading down the trail.
And how far
And
did we go?
are you going back the way you came?
So we're going back towards Gatekeeper. We're going
Yeah.
back
Okay,
the way we
okay.
came.
Yep.
We are now solo. And I think one of the last things I said to them was like, well, if this doesn't work, we are hiking out.
Yeah.
Because
And reporting it stolen.
Get off the cliff.
no, legit. I was like, it was further down where I was just like, okay, we're just fucked. Let's just hike out, and I'll just fucking report it stolen. I need a new Jeep anyways.
Now we can buy your boat.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Boat money.
Boats and hose.
yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, I mean, we should be good. But I was like, we literally had everybody that was on this trail heading this direction backed up, meaning there's nobody else coming towards us.
Yeah.
There's gonna be nobody on this trail, and it was like 4.
I was going to say it was like
Yeah,
4
by that
o'clock
time,
now.
nobody's entering
Yeah.
the trail. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4:30. We had 2 hours to sundown,
Yep.
and we had all the boulder fields in front of us.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, I was trying to exit out because somebody sent me a message.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I interrupted your boulder field.
Yeah. So yeah, continue on, Andrew. How far did we go?
I want to say we made it like maybe 30 feet.
Oh.
Ooh, better than an inch.
Yeah, I was expecting
Yeah.
less.
made about 30 feet and then had to pull off to the side because we ran into 2 JKs
Oh.
that were coming up.
Yep.
And they just swooped by us like we weren't there.
Yep. Yeah, they just passed on by.
And we looked
Did you
like
at
we
least
were
get a
dying.
Jeep wave?
No,
Oh, you didn't even get a Jeep wave?
not even a duck.
Oh,
Not even a duck.
ducks? Nothing? Shit.
Yeah. We looked like death and they just swooped by us. We're like,
You want
okay.
none of that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Not a
Yep.
problem. Backed up, headed down about 6 to 10 more feet. And then there she pops again.
Yeah.
shut
we
up.
heard another pop, dude.
We heard
Pop
we
lock,
we
pop
made
drop
it
it.
just far enough that we could no longer see the group that was leaving us,
Yeah. Gonna
And then
see
the-
him or
and-
hear him.
That was it.
and then
Yeah.
it broke, and I was like, well, we're fucked. It broke on one side. I remember getting anything. It broke on one side.
Yeah.
He didn't trust the welds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told you so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We signed the waiver.
Yeah. So it broke on one side, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was welded and strapped.
Yeah. What's
Like, not only did it break the weld, but it ripped all the straps off of it.
really?
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Because, I mean, it wasn't a hard section, but it was a section where it was like the truck was almost wider than what we were trying to go through.
Yeah.
And it was just like wedging everything in there.
Forcing
Yeah.
it more.
I
Yeah.
just like side loaded it again and
Yeah.
that was it.
Yep. So we're like, I think we had like one more strap left or something.
Yeah.
And I put that strap on. No, we had like 2 more straps left, actually. I put that strap on the one side that broke and start ratcheting it down. And I get it down almost to the axle, and it breaks in front of me. The strap rips in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was
Yep.
like, what the fuck? Like, how did that even happen? So I run my hands like across the edge of the truss. Yeah, it was like razor sharp.
Just
Yeah. The edge
no way.
of the metal.
Yeah, and then it clicked. I was like, "That's why they're all breaking. It's just cutting through it instantly."
Yeah.
Well, you have that much tension on a strap. Any little
Yep.
bit of
Yeah. Just barely
Snap.
touch it.
Yep.
It's just gonna
Yep.
shear. Yeah.
So he's under the Jeep, starts yelling at me, I need something to put under these straps so they stop breaking. So we had a cooler full of water. I start emptying water bottles to use a plastic water bottle
right.
over the,
I remember
you
that
know,
picture.
Yeah, because we're like in full blown survival mode now. Like, there's nobody coming.
Wait, you're emptying your water in a survival situation.
I know. Right?
Yes.
We
This
won't
could have
need
gotten
this.
so much worse.
Yeah.
we were still trying to save the Jeep.
yeah. Cheap is more important.
Fuck my life. Save the Jeep.
Right.
That's how you know you're dedicated.
Yep. So so I start lining the water bottles between the straps and the truss. And we strap it down, and I only had at that point I only had one ratchet strap left on it. And I told him, I was like, well, fuck it. Like, if this breaks, like
This is it.
Yeah, we
we're
didn't
gonna
have
hike.
a choice.
Yeah, we're gonna.
There was
hike.
some dude in a Raptor that showed up coming down.
Yeah, so
In
that
the other direction. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, so that was kind of like a
Wait,
crazy
Raptors go on John Bull?
Yeah.
part. Yeah, so that was kind of like a point of excitement. Like we put the strap on. Like, all right.
Oh, we're not as fucked as this guy.
Right. He doesn't know.
So we're like, okay, it's time to go, and we get up, and all of a sudden, this dude in like a bone stock Raptor.
Oh,
It was like a
seriously.
first gen, wasn't it?
First gen,
Those are
bone
dope.
stock.
Those are
They're
dope.
rad.
The bone freaking.
still.
It was the quote unquote unicorn one. Was just like the half cab truck
Yeah.
Raptor.
Nice.
Yep. And it didn't even have the factory rock sliders on it. It was just
Fuck it,
Ooh,
send
he's
it,
about
bro.
to fuck
just
that thing up.
bare cab.
Yep.
So he had entered through the easy way and was exiting through the hard way. So he had all the hard shit in front of him. And I remember looking at it. The first thing I said, I was like, "Wow, you're brave bringing a Raptor up here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't that bad." Like you could totally tell he's never been to like
Yeah.
Jumble. Like he didn't know what he had ahead of him. His girlfriend knew.
Yeah. His girlfriend knew.
His girlfriend knew.
She probably told him to go. Hey, honey.
So you can do
Yeah.
it, honey.
I don't know if like she had looked it up on like some online like trail authority place or whatever.
Had 5 stars on Yelp.
Exactly.
But yeah, him and his buddy in the Tacoma roll up, and his girlfriend's like, "Oh yeah, there's only like half a mile left, but the gatekeeper's up ahead still." And I was like,
Oh, she's been on there before. She's
Yeah.
"Oh no, she knew."
knew.
She's an old Jeep girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think she just like had like a GPS file or something that they're
okay.
following. And I was like, "Yep." And then my
on Apple Maps.
Shut up. Where's our Airbnb?
yeah, no, legit. I wish if I would have like got some contact information to that guy, because I would love to see the pictures of this Raptor going through. Not because I think it got destroyed, which it probably did, but
Probably.
I would just love
The
to see a
fact that it
fucking
made it,
a
dude.
bone stock Raptor go through the gatekeeper at like John Bull. Like
Really? He actually pulled through?
I'm assuming so.
He
Like
never
that-
came back.
He probably died
we-
on the mountain.
we actually never saw him again.
Yeah.
He died on the mountain.
Now, that kind of gives the rest of the story. So I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you have some ratchet straps?" And this guy had some like legit ratchet straps. They're like,
He's got a Raptor, bro.
they're like the big fucking yellow
Big old
heavy duty
fatties.
ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
On a
oh.
big rig.
Yep. So I put the 2 little ones that I had, strapped it down with the water bottles, and then put his big ass ratchet straps around that. So now we had like a total of like 4 ratchet straps holding the truss on.
Like 10,000 pounds brake strength.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we had 2 kind of wrapped around the axle going towards the front of the frame to help keep the pinion in place. And then we had 2 in an X to center it. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 straps holding the axle in place.
Yeah, it looked like a rat
saw
nest
the
for
photo.
sure. Dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And like we got in the Jeep and I was like, this is like make it or break it.
This
like,
is our Alamo, baby.
yeah. Like this has to
Final
work.
stand, yeah.
This has to work.
We had one more shot and that was it.
Yep. And I was in my head, I was like, if we get stuck and we're done, at least we got these guys behind us and we can like ask for a ride. But we're probably gonna have to turn them around and go back out the other way.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we're
blocked.
blocking
Yep.
the
It's
trail.
gonna be a long fucking night. So I was like, all right. I was like, let's just hop in and go. And I was like, all right, guys, thanks. Like, we'll see you down there, is what I figured. And we start like picking our way through the trail, and like everything's holding. We're going super slow. Like any little noise, we're like, oh, get on, look. Right?
Yeah,
And my brother is just like hiking the whole thing.
Just walking as
Yeah,
long
you're
time.
Actually,
yeah.
add your tidbit there as to the pain that you're in from hiking.
So-
So I keep in mind, I had a broken or almost broken hand, and
We'll just call it broken for the story.
Yeah.
So, and about 2 weeks ago, I was at an event, had an accident happen, and I hurt my toe to the point where my nail completely ripped off. Been oozing blood about every night. Been
God.
having to drain it.
So
Disgusting.
hiking sounds fun.
Hiking was painful, very painful.
yeah.
Oh, I was wearing socks, tennis shoes. I had a blood mark on my tennis shoes from my nail,
Bleeding through the sock.
bleeding through.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, having to spot this guy out.
I think it was the night before that your dog like
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was wearing Crocs. Tell them the Croc story for some like.
Yeah, so I was wearing Crocs. I had my sock off to let it air out, because I don't want it to get infected or whatever. Wearing Crocs, I was just chilling. My dog comes over, all happy to see me, jumps right on my foot, and just imagine a balloon of blood sitting on top of your toe.
Ooh, just popped it.
Popped.
It's like when you step on the ketchup bag.
Yeah, yeah.
On the sidewalk?
You twist it up
And
and step on it.
it launched it like 4 feet over and then up the wall. Yeah, that was the blood from my toe.
It like shot through the holes of the Crocs and landed on the wall all over the floor.
It went up,
was
went up my
disgusting.
leg on my shorts.
You know what you should have had is some fucking Croc jewels.
Right.
It was so bad. And then the next day we went to Jumble.
Yeah. And he even told me, he's like, I don't think we should go wheeling tomorrow with your toe like that. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
See? Should
Well,
listen.
He is my brother.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be
It'll
fine.
be fine. Yeah.
It'll
In
be
the
fine
end-
until it's not.
Actually, in the end, it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yep. I'm still here today.
Exactly.
So he's like hiking the whole thing out, just like watching the pinion angle, watching the axle being centered, see what the truss is doing.
Yeah. And what's wild, the whole way down, I can see the axle go from left to right.
Just shift your.
Oh,
Right. And like the ratchet strap would catch it.
Really?
So then it would stop. And then he would keep going and it would center itself. And then it would just move. The
Yeah,
whole
it-
time I was watching. It's just
Yeah, it would like stretch the strap until it like stop and then you go back.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Just
so
waiting for it to
scary,
blow
dude.
up, dude.
We were doing everything like to not go over a rock, but it's like we're going through the bolt. Like there's
Yeah, I mean,
how do you not?
So you didn't go, I mean, you went out the way you came because it was shorter distance, but in hindsight, would you have gone the other way?
no. I think I still would have done what I did because there was plenty of rocks and plenty of off camber sections up ahead, and it was like 4 miles worth. versus
4
just
miles.
Yeah, versus just half a mile. And the reason I did it that way is because if we had a hike out, it was a shorter hike out that direction than it was the other way.
Yeah.
that, and it's so much easier to go down to boulders than put.
Yeah, having to
you know,
scramble
Yeah.
up them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Where we were at, if we wanted to continue the direction that we were originally going, we were still having to climb.
Yeah.
All
Which would
uphill.
load up the drivetrain, which would force the pinion up.
Yeah.
So by turning around, we were going downhill, and I was almost in neutral most of the time.
Yeah.
I was just letting the
Kinda
truck
coasting
roll
it,
down.
yeah. Yeah.
I'd put it in drive to like get over rock and then pop it back in neutral and just let it roll.
You couldn't take the bypass, bro? Come on. It's Overlander 101.
Come on, Overlander.
So we finally we just start picking our way out, and I kept looking in my rearview mirror like, where's this raptor at? Like I really want to see the raptor.
He probably turned
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, where we were at, where he gave me the ratchet straps is when it started to get like pretty serious for
That's
that.
why
now.
he was probably like,
Oh,
I'm going to turn around.
you went ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was ahead of him, and there's no way that he could have got around me where
Gotcha,
he gave me the
gotcha.
straps. So I was like, all right, guys, I'll see you down there. And we took off, and we just never saw the guy again. So
He
He's probably
died on that
still
trail.
stuck up on that rock, dude.
He died.
And you guys left it.
right?
Yeah.
So I never saw Raptor guy again. Thanks for the straps, dude. They held. Dude, tell him about the end, or at the end of Gatekeeper when we were like just about home free.
Yeah. So we were
Dog shit everywhere.
dog shit everywhere,
Bloody
you know,
toe.
fucking bloody toe, broken hand. And we're
Ex-girlfriend.
just to the point of celebrating.
No,
Don't
like
celebrate. Yeah, don't pull those cigars out.
legit, like it was. I don't know what's the length of like your average driveway, like a car length. It was
2.
Yeah, maybe 2 car lengths. Right?
Yeah.
We were on rocks, and 2 car lengths ahead of us, there was no more rocks. It was firewood.
Yeah. We were done.
That's how close we were.
Oh, you
Right.
made it. Yeah. The light at the end of the
You
tunnel.
thought you were done, bitch.
Yeah. And we started to relax a little bit. All he had to do is go over this one little rock. And I don't know how he did it, but
That's all you had to do.
he side loaded that tire and it started losing air.
I got bead locks.
Yeah.
What?
I have bead locks, and it side loaded it to the inside bead,
Enough
Yep.
to.
The inside
and
of the wheel.
I lost air through the inner bead.
Yep.
And well, the bead lock's only on the outside.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I like creep the tire over it, and like the second I hear the fucking whistle of death, the I'm like, oh fuck! So I couldn't react fast enough to throw it in reverse because I was scared to break something.
Yeah.
So all I could do was like turn the steering wheel in whatever direction the air would stop.
Yeah.
Trying
So,
to
like,
And I was
feel
like,
it up
stop,
again.
stop. I was like, shit.
Yep. So I
Like,
turned
that's
one
the last
way.
thing we need right now.
Yeah. So I turned one way, and it was the wrong way. It got louder. I was like, oh fuck! I turned the other way, and it stopped. So I was like, nobody move.
Yeah. I told him like, fucking stay there. I was like, I'm going to pile up
But you
rocks.
had a spare tire.
Yeah, I had a spare tire. I had my Pro Eagle.
whatever
I had
happened,
everything.
dude.
At that point, what time was it?
It was 5:30.
Yeah.
The sun was
Starting to
going
get
down.
dark.
It was
Yeah.
getting cold,
It was getting cold.
and we
You got 40s, dude. Those are heavy.
dude, we were in shorts, in t-shirts, my girlfriend was in a sports bra.
Yep.
And like we were not ready for cold weather. Like we were supposed to be done by lunch.
Yep.
And it got cold that night.
It
Yeah.
did, like 30s.
Yeah.
No, dude, like during the day and the peak of the day, it was like mid 70s.
Yeah, it was in the 70s. It was a nice, perfect day out.
But by
nighttime,
5, it was getting close to like mid 50s.
Yeah.
I was like, it's cold.
Yep.
And cold for California, I guess.
Yeah. We're pussies.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, fuck, please don't lose a tire right now. We just don't want to deal with it. We have all the shit to deal with it, but we just don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're at the end. We're done.
For the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know what we did. We backed up and I think we like Caltrans the fuck out of it.
Yeah, we did. We used so many fucking rocks.
It was so pathetic seeing a Gladiator on 40s getting rock stacked in front of her.
And-
They're like, I don't know, like basketball sized boulders. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't
Nothing,
anything
yeah.
crazy, but he just happened to do
Just
it.
hit
and
right. Yeah.
Hit just right. So I
What
fucking
PSI were you at?
I aired down to like 9, which is what I usually go down to. But the thing was, like, we were also forced to take really weird, not good lines
Yeah.
to try and avoid
Not
things.
your normal line, yeah.
Yeah,
you couldn't back up. You just had a one shot everything.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. There's no backing up. There's no readjusting. It was, not only that, but then we also had to think about, okay, how do we not sideload this thing? How do we not have to use the throttle? Can we just idle over this?
Yep.
Like there was a lot of thought to
Just
try and
roll
get
it,
out
yeah.
of there.
Yeah.
It took us an hour from the beginning of Gatekeeper to where we broke, and then to drive back out of that same section, I think it took us like another 3.
Probably.
Like it took a long time to get out. It was so stressful. It was the most stressed I've ever been on a
I
track.
bet, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we finally get off of fucking the boulders, right? And we're like, oh, all right. So now, like everybody's texting me. They're like, where are you? Like, do you need a trailer? Do you need a welder? Like, do you need this? And so I start, sending the not so distressed signal, saying like, no, we got off the trail. I think I just need a truck so I can tow this thing home. I'm going to try and make it to the road. So my buddy, the guy with the Bronco, he was going to bring a trailer. I was like, give me an hour and I'll text you when I get on like to pavement. He's like, all right, I'll stand by. So, so we started like cruising down the fire road, still going pretty darn slow. Like any little creek or anything like that, we're like
babying it the whole
freaking
way.
out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and at this point, we had broken so many straps that I only had one ratchet strap holding the axle like to center it. So I was just pulling it in one direction.
Yep.
So we had to like be careful. If it went over the other way, it could just like royally fuck things up, right?
Yeah.
So we like inch our way off the fire road. We get to pavement, and my buddy sends me a text message. He's like, "All right, like you're at pavement. Like, do you want me to bring the trailer?" I was like, it actually did pretty good coming down the highway. this is where the Brandon comes back, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. We were like, oh, we're good. We stopped and we aired up. I got under and tightened all the ratchet straps because they had come loose a little bit.
A little more.
You know?
So I was like, let's just see how far we can get. Like,
Send it.
maybe we can like drive it into town. At least we can
And wait-
eat or something and wait for the trailer.
How far from home is from John Bull where you're at?
It was like an hour 45. Well, it's like an hour 30 driving at highway speeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a distance.
Mountain
Yeah.
roads, 6,000 feet of elevation, windy roads. that we-
Lots of
Just
back
getting
and forth.
down the mountain is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm like, okay, let's just see if we can get into like Big Bear City, and that way we can go sit down in the restaurant while we wait and eat and whatever.
Yeah, you're not sit on the road. Yeah.
So so we started driving, and actually we found like one more ratchet strap that was like really short, but we strapped that to the axle to like actually center it. So now it's actually centered, right? And you got like one long one and one really short one, but it's fucking all working.
It's working.
Somehow.
So we start driving. We start driving through the neighborhood that we got yelled at in the morning.
It was like, told you, bitch.
Right.
So now we were doing like 5 miles an hour through the neighborhood, and it was pretty good. So I was like, all right, well let's hop on the highway. It wasn't like a freeway, like the little 2-lane highway, and let's do that. So we hop on the highway and we started driving. I was like, it's driving really good. I was like, fuck Big Bear City. Let's see how far down I can get.
We had little goals in our head.
Yeah, it was just like little goals, like
that tree over there.
yeah, exactly. You know when you're running the marathon and you're just trying to like motivate yourself, it's like I just got to get to that stop sign.
Yep.
That's what it was. It was like we're just trying to make it to the next corner.
First, it was like to get past gatekeeper. Then it was to make it to pavement.
Yeah. Then it was like, okay, let's make it to like Fawnskin. And then we got to Fawnskin. I was like, oh, let's see if we can make it down to like the gas station by like Deer Lick.
Yeah. Every time we're like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
So, we're like cruising. Luckily, the
really
speed
low.
limits. The speed limits are super low in Big Bend. They're like 35. So
Yeah, there's always,
Were you in 4-wheel drive high with a front drive shaft, basically?
No. At one point after we welded everything, we put the rear drive shaft back on
You put it back on. That's right.
just to try and make everything easier to get out.
a little extra help.
Yeah. So, I just threw it in two-wheel drive and started driving. And so we drove. We got to like Fawnskin and we got out and we checked the straps, make sure everything was good. And then we kept going. We made it down to the gas station, checked the straps again.
Yeah.
And then like my brother asked me, so he's like, how's it feel? And I was like, to be honest with you, if I didn't know it was totally fucked down there, I think it's driving just fine. Goes to say a lot about how Jeeps drive.
For real.
Yeah, it's just
For real.
running like a,
I was like, either my Jeep drives like shit or we did a really good job with those straps.
Yeah.
Better than stock.
Right. So it was driving decent. And so we're like, all right, well, let's just keep inching down the mountains. Let's see if we make it down into San Bernardino and we'll tow it from there. So we start going down the mountain and we're doing like 30, 35 and there's like a little straightaway. So I'm like, oh, let's pick it up to like 40. I was doing good at 40 and then we got to another straightaway. I was like, oh, let's do 45. And then we did 45 and I was like, oh, okay. And then there was like a big straightaway. I was like, let's hit 50.
shit.
So we did 50. I was like, this thing's doing good.
Yeah.
So we get down the mountain and I was like, well, we did 50. I think we can hit 55 to get on the freeway.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's get off. We got off the freeway. We strapped everything back down.
Keep in mind, this whole time, we're smelling dog shit.
yeah, just
Yeah. The whole way down the mountain.
It's freaking reeking.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking about that.
No.
We're thinking about survival.
Yeah. It was like, let's get home.
dude.
Right?
If that shit, those two ratchet straps go fucking south at 50 miles an hour, dude.
Going
There would be human shit on the seat also.
Yes, exactly.
Problems and-
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. And so we tightened down the straps for one last time before we hop on the highway. And we're literally like getting on the on-ramp. And we just hear like the wettest, squishiest fucking shart that we've ever heard.
What?
And it was my dog exploding a second time all over my brother.
While you're
Yeah.
back there?
And my brother's in the back seat.
Yeah. It came straight for me. It's like he had something against me. I swear. That dog.
shot it at you.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. The day could not get any worse,
And
man.
then, of course, like, we're like, oh, and then my Labrador gets happy and she starts wagging her tail, slinging that shit onto the
Yeah.
windshield,
There's
fucking everywhere.
Fucking dog shit everywhere, man. I mean, we're covered in dirt from like laying in the dirt all day.
Yeah.
Or just
honestly,
disgusting grease, dog poop.
At this point, you got to be like,
Fuck it.
At this,
par for the course,
At
man.
that point, 100%, dude. What else is gonna
shit.
happen?
All
dude?
right.
Yeah.
I was so over the off-road life at that point.
Oh, dude.
I was like, what? Why did I choose this as my hobby to relax?
Oh, fuck.
Like, where did we go wrong?
Yeah, like what did we do wrong in life?
bro? Should have overlanded. We hit the fire roads. That's it, bro.
Dude, at that point, I just wanted to hit the freaking river.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is what people do golf for, like, for relaxation.
Yeah, holy shit.
And we didn't have any paper towels at that point or
We didn't
nothing.
have anything, dude. We didn't have nothing
gotta sit,
because we
dude.
had already used all the napkins,
Oh,
all the
yeah,
paper dog towels for the first fucking shit explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That sounds fun.
so we pull over on the side of the fucking freeway, and my girlfriend's like ready to jump out as fast as she can because it smells like dog shit,
Yeah, he
right?
wants to get the fuck out of there.
So we pull over, and she jumps out, and as she's like not even thinking about what she's doing, jumping out, my dog jumps out with her.
Oh, on the freeway.
On the freeway.
Fuck.
So now I'm fucking chasing the dog. He's covered in dog shit. I fucking bear hug him. I get shit all over me. Like it was a fucking fiasco, dude.
Yeah.
What did we use to clean it?
Your jacket.
Oh,
What kind of jacket was it?
it was actually a pretty expensive sweater.
It was.
Yeah, it was So I don't know if you guys have heard of this brand called Municipal. It's Mark
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's brand.
Yeah.
So like I bought like this like I don't
Jim
know,
Bro.
I don't know why I fucking spent $90 on a hoodie, but I did, and that's what I wiped up the dog shit with.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yep. So we were like, fuck it, let's just get home. So we just roll down all the fucking windows and we hop on the highway and, you know, you get up to like 50, 55 and like, all right.
Your hazards on.
Fuck no, I didn't want anybody to know. I was like, we're good.
We're good. What are you talking about, dude? Stuff to see here.
I would
Yeah,
have
dude.
loved to like drive behind you and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
My brother
See
totally
these
said
ratchet
that.
straps
Yeah.
flapping in the
Anybody who was behind us, they saw all the ratchet straps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And so we were like doing 55 and then like I got up to 60 and then we came up to some traffic. I was like, I don't know how we're passing people, but we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, at one point I was just like, oh, fuck it. We're almost home. Like 65 it
solid,
is.
dude.
So we were just cruising 65. At one point I was like, all right, we're good, dude. We're good.
Wow.
And we made it all the way home, man. But fucking A.
Dude, that's crazy. What time did you finally get home?
It was dark. I think it was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, extra 7 hours onto your trip, you know? Fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
It was gnarly. It was fucking gnarly. And then we had to get home and fucking wash dogs and fucking clean dog shit.
Yeah. Not only that, the other dog had left a whole bunch of presents for us when we got home.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend's dog
leave
had
me
shit
home
all over
all
the living room because she was left alone all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be back at 1, asshole.
Right. Exactly.
What kind of dog was that?
She has a little cocker spaniel.
Okay, it's a little dog.
Yeah, it was a
Gotta be.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was gnarly. Yeah.
So what did you learn?
I was
from
just gonna
this?
say,
So what I learned from this was
genuine lessons. Like, what
Yeah,
would
yeah.
you?
for all our listeners.
Bring lots of industrial ratchet straps.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, bring another person.
Yeah.
With another
No,
rig.
yeah,
for one.
yeah. I was,
Another
I
rig.
was being sarcastic. But yeah, the main lesson
Paper
is
towels.
What I used to always tell everybody is don't fucking go alone. Because if nobody would have showed up,
You'd have been mega fucked.
oh yeah, yeah, we
No extra ratchet straps,
oh yeah,
which got you home.
yeah, we got a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 extra ratchet straps from people on the trail.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have been making it out.
No, there's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah, just
way.
having that extra buddy who can go, like when you and I and Gomez went out and the Land Rover broke down, you were able to stay with me and Gomez was able to go out, get parts or something, and scavenge what he could and come back.
Well, at least with the Land Rover, you can expect it.
Well, yeah, I'm always prepared now.
That's why we had 3 rigs.
yeah.
Okay.
He's got an entire like toolbox that's just full of head gaskets in that land.
100%.
I believe it. I believe it.
Dude, I have like a legit, I keep a full mechanics set in my fucking truck at all times nowadays.
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
just taking the kids to school, I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. Yeah.
So bring a buddy with a
Yeah.
rig.
Yeah, buddy
Not
system.
just your brother, but like a rig.
Yeah,
Separate
definitely
vehicle.
bring at least one vehicle. I used to always say, if you're gonna go do an easy trail, bring one vehicle. That way, if something breaks or something goes wrong, you can hop in the other one and drive home, or go get help or whatever. If you're gonna do something like hard, like John Bull, probably like minimum 3 rigs.
Yeah.
That way, like if there's a rollover or if there's a really bad stuck, you can attach 2 vehicles to each other.
Yeah.
And winch, because a lot of times what happens is if one vehicle gets really stuck, it starts to outweigh the vehicle that's pulling
Yeah.
it. And just drag the recovery vehicle.
Yeah, it makes
in.
it worse. Everybody's fucked then. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that where like people like in the snow and they'll drift off, and then you
Yeah.
got like one dude trying to pull him up, and he gets dragged down with him then or something. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I learned the lesson that I was always preaching.
Well, now you have, but like, I've been through it, guys.
Yeah.
Dog shit everywhere.
You need to get like I have like you. I know you have the same thing in the
Sounds
back
like
seat
my
for the
relationship.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been through it. Shit everywhere.
There they go. You get one of those like dog seat covers in the back,
Yeah.
those like hammock things.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too, just because the dog shed like fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
My dogs puke in the back when I
Yeah.
go on like rough roads or windy roads.
Yeah.
They puke in the back. And this is like waterproof, and I just wipe it up.
Just take it
done.
out, hose it
Yeah,
out.
or I could take it out and hose it off and throw it back in.
Yeah, that probably would have worked good, but we had my brother in the back seat, so
Well, mine has. There's like these zippers, So you can
really?
unzip one side where you can put your legs down. That's like a normal seat.
Oh, right.
And then
on.
the other side can still be a hammock.
Yeah, there's still like they have like little Velcro openings for the seat belts and everything like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazon made $30.
Amazon, baby.
I also decided after that trip that I'm probably not.
Don't bring your
gonna-
dog.
Yeah, don't
my
bring,
dog.
Just don't bring the dog.
No, just don't bring your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned a lot of things on that trip.
Have you looked into like those? I've seen those people have like those welder kits where like it's basically you just bring a secondary battery, or you can pull the
Yeah.
battery out of yours.
Yeah.
And there's it's just stick welding though.
Yep.
But like,
Those are pretty cool if you know how to stick weld. I can MIG weld.
I mean, even if like you're saying, like some bunch of booger welds, just to
Yeah.
fucking
Something.
some bubble gum on there to fucking hold it. Maybe.
Yeah, those are cool because you can get some that are pretty compact that basically
doesn't
just
take up a
look
lot of
like
room.
jumper wire,
Yeah.
jumper cables.
Exactly.
And you just
I've always wanted to learn how to like do like
Trail
I've seen,
weld.
Yeah, it's trail welding, and I've seen
Yeah.
guys do it. And I'm like, fuck.
If you go to Overland Expo, they have these
They have a
type of
class on
courses.
it. Do they?
really for
No, they really do.
right on.
Really?
Trail welding.
I
yeah,
would
that was
love to
cool.
actually learn that. I can weld like with a fucking MIG, no problem. Yeah, I'm a fucking, it's
Yep.
whatever. But like, it'd be rad to learn how to for something like that. And I'll keep all that, a couple extra sticks in my fucking whatever.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all I need is just the cables, fucking a bunch of fucking
sticks.
welding rods, and then
Yep.
fucking a battery. Pull your starter battery out, and go to town.
Yep, exactly.
It'd be fucking rad.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool setup. I don't know. I absolutely suck at stick welding. I took a class and I got certified for welding with a MIG.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I got it's actual certification.
The School of Fab or whatever.
Yeah, and but I tried stick welding while I was there, and I just could not do it. Like,
It's a
props
different-
to the stick welder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not everybody can be a Toyota owner.
Precisely. Precisely.
Not everybody can have a red interior in a wrap.
So yeah, so that was the story. So now we're in the bigger hurry to get my brother's YJ over here to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
do
That
some
we have
other-
somebody to drag you out with.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're almost fully moved over here.
Pretty much. Yeah. Last thing there is my Jeep.
How you going to get it? You going to put on a car transport?
Yeah, I'm gonna put on a car transport, get that thing over here. Been getting quotes and whatnot. Hopefully, getting it here soon.
Don't get it registered here.
I know. So before I left,
Holy shit, it is expensive.
before I left, I got all new stickers for it and everything. So she's got like what is it, 2 years on it?
Oh, wow.
Before-
Oh,
Two.
you're two over there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Virginia, so they do it for 2 years, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
What were you doing in Virginia? School?
Yeah, school. I used to work for Fastenal,
okay.
industrial supply,
yeah.
Yep.
Chick-fil-A.
and Chick-fil-A.
Hey.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Yeah,
Is that what you said at the very end? Oh, you got off the trail? My pleasure.
my pleasure. We've always talked about getting a sticker that says "Built by Chick-fil-A" on my Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I used to always make fun of this guy because, like, he was going through college and he was working Chick-fil-A because it's a part-time job and just worked
Yep.
with this schedule.
Hey, solid.
Yeah.
And he built a fucking badass rig off of Chick-fil-A income, like part-time Chick-fil-A income.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't. That's,
I fucking worked my ass off, but
hell yeah, dude.
Yep.
That's rad.
Yeah, and when I mean badass rig, I'm like Curry 60, 44 front.
Cooler than my Eldorado.
Yeah,
it's
like
got Vision bead locks on it. It's stretched 100-inch wheelbase. It's waggy spring sprung under still. Full roll cage tied to the frame. PRPC. It's all the good stuff.
Damn.
fucking. That's
I
like,
need to go get a second job, motherfuckers.
shit. We need to work at Chick-fil-A, bro.
You hired?
Jared's like, my pleasure.
That was a lot of chicken nuggies in that Jeep, dude.
Hell yeah, it was.
I get Sundays off, right?
Yeah, man. So anybody out there that like makes stickers, can you make a sponsored by Chick-fil-A sticker for his YJ?
That'd be rad.
Exactly.
So that's why I always say, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm everything you sponsored by. I'm fucking my day job.
Right.
Fuck, dude, what are you talking about? Dude?
Right.
Hell yeah, man.
So
that's
once I get that thing over here, I'll show them what a real Jeep is.
Yeah. Oh,
All you need is 2 links per axle, and you're fine.
yeah, you get 2 extra links and you can't even pull.
No, legit. Like that whole situation. One made me want the boat, but 2 made me miss my old YJ because like legit, like leaf springs. I know everybody wants coilovers and this and that because leaf springs are the way to go because you can legit break a leaf spring in half. But no matter what, it's still connected at one end. You can drag that bitch out of there. You can still drive it.
You can still get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a YJ, and we talked about this.
Dude, I want a YJ so bad again. It's like the ultimate platform forward to just build a crawler. They have a good frame, they have a good engine. Put some big old axles underneath it and some decent leaf springs. You don't even need shocks. Fuck the shocks. Just springs. That's it.
Yep.
Bounce.
More bounce to the ounce, bro.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yep. Throw some super low gears in and go crawl the out of it. Weld the Lincoln lock it.
Yep.
Lincoln Lock.
That's the one thing about my Jeep is that it's got a lot of money in it and it looks really good, but the shocks, rough country.
Hey, fuck it. Work.
Like Brandon said, you don't even need shocks.
Exactly.
Why waste money on that?
Exactly.
Yep.
You get yourself a welder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just bring a welder in your phone.
Right.
So you can go rescue some gladiators.
Yep.
Oh man. No, dude, that's awesome. When are you going to get out of here? Like in the next month or so?
My goal is next month. Yeah.
Okay.
So
What brought you back to California?
my dream of always coming back and working in the automotive industry. So,
Yeah.
You know,
It's a good spot for that.
Yeah, so we moved out to Virginia. I was there for a while, did high school and some did college out there, graduated. And my goal was always to come back and be in the automotive industry, hang out with this weirdo and you know, save him from when he breaks on the trail.
Yeah.
But yeah, primarily just come back and get the full like off-road experience, because in the East Coast, yeah, we go,
It's different.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, especially the fact that where I was living at, the closest trail to us where I could take my Jeep and be challenged was a 4 to 5 hour trip.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like going wheeling out there, although it's cheaper, it's a pain in the ass.
I was wondering about that. Like, yeah, like how the wheeling is out
Yeah.
there. I mean, I know it's like more mudding and stuff like
Yeah.
that and forest.
There is some cool spots, especially here in the past like year or two, that have definitely like started to get populated with rock crawlers and whatnot. But it's nothing comparable to over here.
Yeah.
You know, like Big Bear, hour and a half
Yeah, I
away.
would say an hour and a half drive.
You know,
Yeah.
and like in the East Coast, surprisingly 90% of the guys, they have a truck and trailer and then the rig on it.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't. So I
Because
was
their mortgage is like $200 a month.
exactly, exactly. So, but I didn't. So I was driving my
dailying
YJ.
it, yeah.
I was driving my daily YJ on 40s, 5 hours. I would wheel it all weekend with these dudes on getting, you know, their,
And then
that
drive
their
to
rigs.
Chick-fil-A on Monday.
Yeah, that their rigs are being trailered there and trailered home.
Yeah.
I would go out there fucking wheel and then drive home.
You still have to make it back.
Yeah, I still have to make it back. Yeah. And I mean, there was plenty of times that I would fucking break on the trail.
Oh, yeah.
Get a ride back from a buddy, take my Volkswagen back up there with, you know, my brother,
Parts and tools.
swap out a leaf spring and drive it home at 2 a.m, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So
So you can tell we're brothers.
Yeah. It runs in the family.
Sounds about right.
Not too long ago, he told me that actually one time he hitchhiked to get some
To
parts
get
for his
home.
Jeep. You're like, I got a ride from like some random dude.
Oh yeah, I was in South Carolina going 4-wheeling at Gulch's, and I had got there the night before, woke up, went to the gas station, fueled up, and when I went to start my Jeep, it wouldn't start anymore. I was like, "The fuck's going on?" And I think at that time I called him for some help because I was just kind of clueless. I was like, this thing was running perfectly fine the entire way down here.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell went wrong? You know, battery connections were good. I had just put fuel in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's an old 4-liter, so all you need is ignition and fuel and
pretty
air.
simple, yeah.
And it's gonna start. And it wasn't. I was like, the fuck's wrong with this thing? Well, it turns out the coil pack had gone bad. So I sat there for like maybe 15, 20 minutes with an angry girlfriend in the car.
Ex-girlfriend or?
Ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Ex-girlfriend.
See, we are brothers.
We are now
back
the
with her
Super
6
Smash.
times?
What's that? we are now the Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
So yeah, I chilled there for a little bit, and then some dude in a like 2,500 ton his boat, which is probably the smart thing to do. Showed up to the gas station, fueled up, and I was like, "Hey man, like, do you mind giving me a ride to an auto parts store? Like, I just drove here from Virginia. I'm trying to go 4-wheeling with my buddies." And he was like, "Yeah, man, not a problem. Hop on in." So I hopped on in his truck with his kid in the back seat, and he was going fishing. But he took me to auto parts store. I got a coil pack, drove me back.
Oh,
put the coil pack in at the gas station, and went fucking wheeling.
Fucking legit, dude.
Yeah.
Nice down
Gotta
there.
love that Southern hospitality, dude.
Yeah,
Exactly, dude.
yeah. So
Damn.
That's badass.
yeah.
But yeah, and so yeah, we got to get that YG out here and tell them a little bit what you do.
Yeah, like what you came out here to live the dream, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Are you living it now?
work in the automotive industry. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I work at S&B Filters now. I started there as a tech.
He's lying. He was a janitor.
Don't say that.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Started off there as a tech, and I guess they really liked me. I did some good things for them at some events, brought in a lot of leads and stuff like that. A lot of people wanting some tanks, because other than cold air intakes and filters, we also do water tanks and fuel tanks for we do water tanks for the Overland Sprinter vans, for like the Owl vans, and stuff like that.
Okay.
We have some that mount underneath, some that mount inside over the wheel well, all that jazz.
Like purification filters.
No, water tanks.
No, tanks, a water tank.
Like a 25-gallon water tank so you can wash your hands or take a shower.
Yeah,
Like, I just put
and
that
the Sprinter
20-gallon
vans are
tank.
like converted into like an RV.
No, yeah. But like, I was thinking about filters.
Yeah.
Being a filter company, but
Gotcha. I see.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
actually-
don't know
connection
this company.
there, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
So
A
they
lot of
actually
people
make like a tank.
Yeah, so we make it's made out of a material called polyethylene,
Okay.
and it's a super strong plastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's extremely strong. Like you can put an entire 3,500 truck on that tank, and it's not going to bust.
Geez.
Wow.
And they're super strong. But yeah. So other than the filters, the cold air intake boxes, they're made out of the same material.
Nice.
They're roto molded and made out of the same material. So that's where the water tanks and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
we got the technology.
We got the technology, we got the equipment. That's
Yeah.
where they did it. So they did the water tanks, and we also do diesel tanks for your 2,500 and
Oh,
3,500.
like the bed fuel tanks kind of deal.
No, underneath it's a stock replacement.
Really?
Yep. So you pull your stock fuel tank out. Let's say you have a F-250.
Yeah.
Pull a stock fuel tank out. You put your fuel pump and all your vent hoses and all that on the S&B tank. You put that in with the stock straps plus like one more. Let's say that we supply.
Yeah.
And
Ratchet strap, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
1 instant.
Definitely not from Harbor Freight.
But yeah, so it's like a direct replacement. We have tanks that go up to like 64 gallons.
I was gonna say, what's the benefit? Is it like a long range tank?
Longer
Yeah,
range.
they're long
Yep.
range tank.
And
It's,
what
it's pretty cool. Like
do you make them for?
So we make them for it's diesels only.
Oh, okay.
So we don't do nothing gasoline when it comes to
Jared
fuel.
was like,
I'm like,
Yeah, no. So unfortunately, no gasoline.
why is that? Is it just a
Because of the dangers of it. If there's a leak, if there's a crack and there's a spark,
Don't.
then we're getting sued. Where it's a whole other.
yeah, diesel's not nearly as
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh. Fair enough. I was just curious.
So yeah, that's the primary reason.
So will all diesel applications like the Colorado diesel?
No, for like heavy duty.
It's all heavy duty stuff?
2,500 and 3,500s. Yep. And we
I
also
think the
do,
Overland community likes those long range tanks.
Yeah.
You know?
I know,
Some of them
they
diesel
do.
trucks, man. Like got the
Boat
diesel.
towing.
They're a diesel Jeep and stuff. And
Yeah. So it also comes down to how much space you have underneath. You know, the bigger trucks, they have way more space underneath. And like the
Yeah, yeah.
Sprinter vans, we also make fuel tanks for those. They have way more space underneath.
Oh yeah.
so much room for activities.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's actually pretty cool how they do it. So when I was working for Owl, they were prototyping the Sprinter tank, and they came over and they scanned a van that we had at the shop, and they basically put it right back in the factory location, but they fill all the gaps and all the spaces.
Find all the extra little nooks and crannies.
yeah, so we have a system that will like scan it and fill every nook and crevice to get that just extra capacity. And by the time you're done with the tank, you got like an extra gallon just by filling all those little
just that
cracks
little-
and all the nook and cranny.
Wasted space. Yeah.
And then they extend them. They make them longer or whatever,
Yep.
and that's where they get way more fuel in there.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
one tank that's like 6 or 7 feet long.
Oh wow.
Jeez, big
Yeah,
tank.
they're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're huge and they're pretty legit.
Yep.
But yeah, they do all kinds of cool stuff for there. I got an S&B cold air intake on my Gladiator. Oh, actually, here's a
Fucking
funny
racer.
story. So I got this again, another prototyping thing. They're prototyping these air intakes back when I first got my Gladiator, and so they put one on my truck, and my truck was brand new at the time. It had maybe less than 5,000 miles on it. It's got 80,000 miles on it right now. Endless off-roading, like lots of dirt miles, lots of silt beds, lots of it's been through a lot of dirt. I don't think I've ever cleaned that filter.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I took a look at it the other day and I was like, Jesus Christ, Brandon.
It's really bad. It's
is
really
horrible.
bad.
He's wondering why he's getting like 10 miles per gallon.
Right. And the worst part is he has one of the cleanable ones. So he can clean it.
He's just late.
Okay, well, shameless plug. Okay, like that just goes to show
How well it
how well these things flow air
Yeah.
and filter particles.
Yeah, if they can withstand your abuse, then yeah.
3 years, 80,000 miles of off-roading. Well, not all off-roading, but a lot of off-roading. And I mean, visually, it looks like it's clogged. Like if you look into it, you're like, oh, what the?
Yeah.
Now, are the filters like the oiled ones where like, like Canon, so you're supposed to oil them and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so you can get an oiled filter or you can also get a dry filter. It's like a paper filter.
Okay, yeah, both.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Also on like a cone shaped.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you have, Brandon?
Huh?
What do you have?
I went for dry because I
heard it dries better.
Yeah. I've had experience with Canon wet filters, and they just tend to attract the dirt, like they'll be like kind of like how Armor All does to a tire. You put Armor on it, and you go down a trail, and it just immediately turns into a big brown donut.
Malls.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It just immediately turns into a big brown donut. So that's basically what an oiled air filter does as well.
So like I used to run when I had my Ranger, I had the cone Canon filter, but then I ran that pre-filter like the sponge or whatever.
The outerwear.
Yeah. Does that help it enough? Or no?
I think that helps it some, but I'd still just much rather run a dry filter. The other advantage to a dry filter, like in like a competition world, which is like why I chose a dry filter, is if it gets to a point that it's like super clogged and you're running out of air into the engine, you can literally take it out and bang it on the ground and get the dirt out. And
that's how you usually clean mine.
Yeah. Whereas if if it's an oiled filter, it's just stuck on there. You got to hose
until you wash it.
Yeah, you actually have to clean it. Yeah, use a cleaner and then re-oil it. And,
exactly. So that's my choice. If it was like a performance vehicle, like a street performance vehicle, maybe I'd go oiled. I don't know the advantage to it or like why, but I don't know.
There's very minimal airflow difference between the two, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
The issue with other competitors and their oiled filters is when it comes down to the oiling process, because you've oiled a filter before, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How'd you oil it? With an aerosol can, probably.
No, mine had a little pump one.
A pump can.
Oh wait, no, that was the cleaner with the pump. The oil
aerosol can
with an aerosol can.
And at what point did you know that you put too much on there?
When it became all bubbly and shit.
When it's dripping off.
Yeah, you really don't know. And at that point,
I'm like, shit, that's redder than this section. I better put more over here.
Exactly.
God, yeah.
At that point, it's like you have no idea, and that's when you start getting all that shit on your MAF sensor, and that's when things get messy, and that's why people go against them.
Yeah, my old F-150, the airflow sensor all the time. I had to fucking clean that thing.
Yeah. So like our advantage is that we actually have what we call a cleaning kit, and it comes with a bottle with oil, and the bottle has, or your filter, each filter has specific measurements. It's measured in grams, how much oil you're supposed to put on the filter. Yeah. So the bottle has all the tack marks on it, all the measurements.
Specifically to your filter.
Yeah, but that means you have to read the instructions. Okay.
I threw those away.
And that's why I got a dry filter, because they're just bolted on.
Yes. For like desert and for like what we do out here in California, definitely dry filter, because you can spray it out with an air hose. The longevity of it isn't as long as like an old filter, because
80,000 miles, 80,000.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
Price. I mean, what are you paying? Like less than $100 for a filter?
Yeah, they're $69.
Yeah,
they're both the same price.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for 80,000 miles. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So you're supposed to replace it, but I mean, it goes to show that it's still good.
You can tell. I mean, you look at it; they're kind of whitish still.
Right?
They're not like turning gross.
Is there like a company recommended mileage for the filters?
There is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe it's 30,000.
I'm a little over. Just a tad.
It made me think of like, have you seen those videos I've seen pop up recently with people get like the cone filters and
they're
throw
buying
like the
another
fireworks.
light bar?
No,
I've seen that.
I'm like, that's fucking genius, dude.
Yep.
Boom, little black cats or something, and just pops all the fucking dust out of them.
Wait, say that again? What happened?
So they're taking their cone, is usually a cone air filter, right? And they set it down, standing up tall wise, and then they'll drop like some black cats in there.
Yep.
In the center.
Oh, black cats.
Little small
like,
fireworks.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like a little M80 or something.
They scratch the shit out. Like,
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, little
an
baby
M80,
fireworks.
like boom.
I wouldn't do an M80. That might just blow your fucking filter. But get some little fireworks, and they just pop just enough, and they just big dust cloud off these things. It's fucking.
I've
rad.
actually also seen people put it on their exhaust.
Oh, and just blow it out that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good idea. I never thought of that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
just might melt it a little bit, but
just do it quick.
you could always use like a air gun or air compressor.
Well, if you're on the trail or something,
If you're on John Bull with a broken
Yeah.
truss and you want to clean your air filter, you know.
got nothing else to do.
Right.
Exactly. All right.
Should ask the
Right.
drunk guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You're blowing this, bitch. Yeah.
Blow on this. DUI checkpoint. I need you to blow into this.
Yeah.
Right.
Stumbling down the trail in his flip flops.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out. And you guys you're located here? Or you guys?
Yeah. So we're in Fontana.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we're based out of Fontana. That's where all of our like engineering is done, all of our headquarters. But we have facilities in Yuma, Arizona, and in Kentucky
Oh, wow.
for like shipping out and all that good stuff.
Oh, so yeah, you can ship all over the place and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Oh, okay. What was it? SNB?
SNB filters.
Like and
Yep.
S
Like the and
and
sipple.
Oh, not the
B,
letter
not
N.
SNB.
Super better filters.
Yes.
Super and better.
Because we are
better.
super and better.
Super and best.
All right, I'll check those out.
Yeah, definitely. Check them
I
out.
don't even know the name of the fucking air filter I have, but I hate having to oil it all the time. So I wouldn't mind switching to a dry filter.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a K&N.
It's not a K&N though. I know it's not a K&N. Call my other trucks had K&Ns, and I'm like, oh, this is a different one.
I just
don't
bought
know.
a K&N, but I also have the Dorkel, and I have
Yeah.
that pre-filter on it, and that actually keeps it really clean.
Yeah.
Because I got like
Yeah, the
that
snorkel
propeller
upgrade.
in there.
Yeah.
And it filters out a lot of the fine dust.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
want to do that, but like the snorkels on Tundras look stupid.
They do. They're like
fucking
beefy.
ginormous. They
Yeah.
stick out like 6 inches off the side of the truck, and they're crazy.
So, like what you just brought up, the whole little impeller pre-filter thing
Yeah.
you're talking about,
Yeah.
that made me think of a product that they make.
Yeah, we have
yeah.
it's for side by sides, and actually we have it. It's for a 2500. I think it's a F250.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a particle separator, is what we call it.
Yeah.
And basically, what it does is this big unit that has fans in it. So the fans will separate the dust and debris and dirt from the air itself. So when the air enters it in a turbine fashion.
Yeah.
And the fans will pull the dirt out and allow the rest of the clean air to go through towards the filter.
Yeah. Pull the heavier particles down, and yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I'll be the first to say that when a couple of years ago when they first brought that out, we were trialing one on a razor, and I was like, "What? Like this is the dumbest thing ever! Like there's no way this is gonna work."
Yep.
And yeah, we installed it, and we're like, "This is goofy," and we took it out to Johnson Valley, just ready to just hammer back and be like, "Take your."
Take your shit back.
Take your shit back. Take your snake oil back. And the thing fucking worked phenomenal.
It's just
We
like
were
a little inline drop in or something, or
No, it's like this whole like housing.
Yeah,
It's like
okay,
an
okay.
air
It's a big
filter
unit.
housing.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
it's like where the air initially flows in before the filter.
Gotcha.
It runs it down to it.
Yep.
And yeah, it spins the air in a way that it catches the heavy particles, and it's got like baffles inside of it or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, just like gold mining, dude.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
tanning for gold.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, just panning for dust instead, and then it shoots it out the side, and the filter just gets the small stuff.
Yep.
yeah.
And it works
Takes a lot of
really-
the stress off the filter. Then
Yeah, it works really freaking good. I was like
Yeah.
impressed by it.
Yeah, they're super awesome, and they actually the speed of the fans modulates. So if you're at idle, it'll only be at like I believe it's 50% fan speed, and then once you get it on the throttle after a certain RPM, then it kicks up to 100%.
See, I would rather have something like that. 'Cause, like, everybody's like, "Oh, you have a snorkel because you want to do big water crossings." That's not why.
Yep.
It's mostly for dust particles and stuff like
Yep.
that. And I don't want necessarily need or want that big Dorkel fucking thing hanging out.
Yep.
That'd be a fucking rad option.
Yeah. So we actually have snorkels for Sprinter vans as well. We just released them.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah,
that's pretty rad.
Yep.
yeah, those are pretty cool looking.
Wow.
Wow,
The more you know.
interesting.
So if you want to go submarine your $180,000
Right.
Mercedes,
That's what everybody says. Like, why do I need a snorkel on my? I'm not driving through any rivers. Well, it's not for the river. It's for
Yeah.
the dust.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but you never know. Like,
I mean, yeah, there are some water crossing,
Dude, like Mojave, we didn't know it was going to be that deep.
Yeah.
And it was that deep, and I'm glad I had a snorkel because it was over the engine. I mean, that guy hydrolocked his Tundra. Yeah, and he was on 37s, and he still hydrolocked his motor.
No way.
He also didn't know how to do a water crossing.
Yeah, he kind of pushed through it.
He kind of like went too fast and like caught his own wave, which obviously creates like an extra foot of water
over the hood.
Unnecessary.
Yep.
But I mean, I went through no problem, and
it's pretty easy to hydro. I hydrolocked my YJ when I was young, and I did it like, I mean, you would have never thought I was gonna hydrolock. It just looked like a puddle. Really,
Yeah,
it was like
it could be the smallest thing.
Yeah, it was like the size of this area that we were in, and I started driving in it, literally just like idling through, and I idled into it, got into the deep spot, and the Jeep just turned off. And I was like, oh, it's a stick. I was like, I just stalled it.
Stalled it out, yeah.
So I cranked it, and it cranked and cranked and cranked, and then made a weird noise, and I was like, what the hell was that? And I cranked it some more, and then they made a really weird noise, and I had no doors on the Jeep, and I looked down, and I could see oil floating in the water. And I was like, I'm fucked.
That's another.
it'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 6 rod went through the block.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun times. Dang, man. Well, that's cool. So you guys got a lot of cool products. You're living the dream.
Yeah.
Get your YJ out here.
Yep.
I'll ride with you, not Brandon.
That's fine. You'll probably get scared because I drive just like Brandon.
I don't get scared.
I've already laid my Jeep on the side, on the lid. It's been
through it.
It's been through it, but we like to have fun.
Hell
yeah,
That's
man.
why you build it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Built, not bought. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
yeah.
Well, shoot. Well, thanks for coming on and telling that story, man. I mean,
Yeah. And I felt bad because we were up at Little Smokies and we didn't even notice. Like,
we didn't even have reception half
we had
the
no
time.
reception. We're coming down the hill. All of a sudden, I see all your stories popping up of like, we're fucked. And
He calls me.
Yeah.
So he calls me, like, because we got back on and just aired up, and I was actually driving down from Idlewild. And he's like, dude, you may want to check on your boy Brandon. It looks like he's kind of fucked. I was like, oh shit. So I was like ringing your phone off the hook, thinking that you were stuck up there. I was just gonna take,
we didn't know
take
what
it
days
down
were.
and go. Yeah, I was just gonna take it straight up to Big Bear and go help you out or whatever. And because I had extra food, I got everything.
We got
dude.
beers, dude. We're good.
We had like a bag of potato chips.
Dude, I actually didn't have any of my food. Like, I didn't cook any of my food, so I had like a full
we
on
didn't even need to
weekend's worth of
cook.
food.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
They're like, we can't fix your Jeep, but we can fix your dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
But I got this sausage.
Right.
Might have some extra ratchet straps in there.
Yeah, no, I did. I had some ratchet straps. I had an extra Pro Eagle. I had everything, dude. So
All the straps.
all the straps.
Strap on.
Don't go overlanding unless you got your strap on.
Exactly.
But he was like, yeah, man, you need to go check on your boy. So that's when I called you and on my ride home, and you're like, no, dude, I'm already home. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because the first one that popped up, it was just like I saw this rat nest of fucking zip ties and we're on the side of the fucking
Hopes and dreams.
trail. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the official name of that day for me was "Stay strapped or get clapped."
Yeah. That's the name of this
sure,
episode. Stay strapped or get clapped.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got
man.
home and we looked at each other and we were like, this was the worst day of wheeling we've ever had.
No, legit. I remember like getting home and like we like unloaded the dogs and all that crap. I walked out and we both looked at my Jeep and looked at him and we're like, wow, I think it's a big pile of shit right now. How did we make it home?
Yeah.
So we didn't actually cover this part. Like, you fixed it.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
solid
yeah.
again.
And there was
Yeah.
more to it with all the things that happened at home with
Oh yeah,
Trying to get
yeah.
the welder going and all that.
The next day was another.
Oh, I
disaster.
remember. Oh, dude, you got to tell that story.
The next day was
That's right. I
the shit show didn't end right there.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
Your house is held together by fucking. I'll let you tell the story. Brandon, his whole. Okay, just tell your story. I don't want to ruin it.
This is my brother's life.
Okay, so next day
Sunday.
I had another truss. I had another one.
How do you just have an extra truss
laying
dude?
around.
I got a lot of parts in my garage. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do an axle swap on that Jeep, so I needed another truss for it, and I've just had it there.
What kind of axle were you putting on there?
I wanted to do a Curry 9.
Yeah.
And that was gonna be the plan. I was just gonna modify the other truss to fit it and all that. But never the divorce made the Curry 9 go away.
Yeah.
So
Ends happen.
Curry non.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So I had another truss sitting there. So the next day I was like, all right, well, let's rip this thing out, we'll put the new truss on there, and we should be good. And then, we take it out. And at first I think we were just like, oh, we'll just bolt it on. Right.
Yep.
And I was like, if we're going to go through all this work, I'm going to weld it back on. So we have a Lincoln welder, 220 Lincoln welder, but the house that I moved in doesn't have a 220 plug on it yet. I was like, no big deal. I mean, this is a fucking great excuse to go down to the hardware store and get the plug.
It's a new.
Thankfully, I brought it from Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
Put that thing in my Volkswagen and hauled it over here.
Really?
Yeah.
Rad.
Actually, that was one of he was packing up to leave Virginia. I was like, hey, that Lincoln welder that I sent you a few years ago that you've never used? Whatever you bring, make sure that welder is in your car. It's coming back.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah.
We need it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we get the axle out, this and that. I cut off all the old shit that was welded on it, and we get ready.
Things are going smooth.
Things are going smooth.
Yeah.
Like we're just like rocking and rolling, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, we need to go get a 220 plug. And on my wall, there was literally an outlet right next to the electrical box. I was like, okay, we can like run wire into that. It'll be super simple. We just got to get a new plug and a breaker for the electrical panel. So we go outside, and I was like, okay, well, we had to take the panel off the breaker box so we can see like all the wiring behind the breakers. And we take it off, and there's like a massive dead rat in there.
Yeah.
I remember that picture.
And by
now,
massive,
dude.
it was like at least a foot long.
Oh yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
huge.
it was like the size of my cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the significance of this rat is what?
I don't know.
It was holding your fucking house together for electricity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was the current.
He
was
was
running
like,
through that.
he had one like paw over here
Yeah.
and connecting wires and shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so this
Yes.
rat stepped on the wiring of the house just right.
That was your
That
fuse.
it shorted out the breakers, but it was passing electricity through it.
Through
And
his
that's
body.
yeah. And that's who knows how long it's been there. All right, and this is
He was holding this house together, bro.
and it's a newer nice house.
Yeah, with
but it's got 2 acres of land, so there's field mice, but I don't know where this thing came from. But anyway, so I'm like, oh shit, we gotta get it out of there, obviously, right? So there's the main breaker, like the main service breaker shut off. I was like, all right, turn that thing off, clicks off, we get a shovel, we get the fucking rat out of there. And then we go to turn the power back on to the house, and it's like rock solid. It won't turn on anymore.
He broke the connection by removing the dead body.
Never fucking moved the fucking
Right.
rat, dude. Should have left
Exactly.
it in
It was passing fucking electricity through the rat or current. It was like, I don't know what it was doing, but it was allowing everything to work. But once we pulled the rat off, the freaking breaker detected the short or whatever it was the rat fucked up and wouldn't give power to my house
Yep.
on the Sunday at like 3.
Yep.
I know we got listeners like Bryson and stuff who's an electrician, probably like, son of a bitch. Just fucking,
He was with us.
yeah.
He could have fixed your shit on his way home.
Yep. So that turned into a whole fiasco. We went down to Home Depot to try and get, what was it, 200 amp breaker or something.
Yeah.
And they don't have any. You got to buy the whole fuse panel. Lowe's doesn't have any. Like, we were fucked. So I was like, oh, well, we'll call Soka Edison. Like, they fix things like this, right? We'll just have to pay for it or something. So we call Soka Edison and we wait for them, and they show up at like 8 o'clock at night.
Jeez.
And they're like, oh yeah, we don't do anything past that service breaker, so we can't replace the
everything
breaker.
past that is your responsibility.
Yeah. So they're like, no, can't do nothing. So I was like, what the fuck, dude? And at this point, like, the Jeep is just sitting there. There's no power to the house. The Jeep has an axle in it. I got to go to work the
Your
next day.
groceries are dying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, fuck, this weekend sucks.
Yeah.
What did I do in my life to deserve this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had ratchet straps holding your Jeep together, and you had a fucking rat
and they're
holding your house
Yes.
together.
Exactly.
That is a description of my life.
So how are things going? Yeah.
Yeah. So then, luckily, I don't know how things are still working right now, but my neighbor came to the rescue, and he's like this like good old boy. He comes over with like a big old 2x4.
With the bottle of moonshine.
Yeah. No, he shows up like no shirt, like, hey man, we're gonna fix this thing right now, is what he says. He's got a 2x4, right? This thing's like 2 feet long, and he puts it on the fucking breaker. Because I kid you not, like I grabbed it and I put all my force with it and tried to move it. Wouldn't freaking move. The so-called Edison guys that told me like, yeah, you're not gonna move it. Like those things are like rock solid. I'm like, all right. So this dude comes over, he puts that 2x4 on it.
Please tell me he had overalls, no shirt, and only one strap on his overall.
I'm 100% picture this.
Yeah, dude.
With
It
a
was
trucker
hilarious.
hat.
He goes, all right. He's like, if I start moving funny like I'm being electrocuted, just tackle me. I was like, all right, you got it, dude. And he just like fucking rams this thing with that 2x4 and fucking it switched it.
Yeah.
Turned back on.
Oh my God.
way,
Yep.
dude.
Yep. Yeah, it was a disastrous fucking weekend.
But then you fixed it.
You got
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put it back together.
No, it's fucking still running like that. Fuck it.
It's still ratchet.
That'll be
No,
fine.
I mean,
No,
no.
no,
Oh, the
the
Jeep?
Jeep.
Yeah,
Jeep.
yeah. No, the power's still running how
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the house.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, we got the Jeep back together and it's all good now. So, but,
Jeez.
Solid.
That's awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Well,
Sound like we had a way better weekend.
we had a way.
Yeah,
You guys are
definitely.
like, oh, we were drinking beer and
Yeah.
cooking food.
Yeah, that's what we should have been doing.
You should have been there.
I was drinking beer, taking edibles, driving down a mountain after, not at the same time. Having a good time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand,
Whole different story.
Not a good time.
no bueno.
Nope.
No
now,
bueno.
now after the fact, great fucking story.
I know. We're
Yeah.
glad you guys came on to tell it, dude.
Definitely.
Always like I always say, like, when things go wrong, those are gonna make the best stories. If everything went smooth, it's been like meh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so you went
through
and
that.
wheeled John Bull. Told
Yeah,
me
yeah,
about
it was
this
just-
boulder.
it was all right.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like hearing stories about how the rat held your house together for electricity while your ratchet straps are holding your life together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
it was
man.
a hell of a weekend. So, but yeah, now I'm kind of like at the point where I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll just go get some redemption on that fucking
I
trail.
was just gonna say, when are you going back?
Yeah.
No, I know.
It's
I
all
want to.
fixed.
Yeah.
Wait till the YJ gets out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
gotta wait till the YJ
Once the
gets
YJ's here, you got that back.
I've
up.
never done John Bull. So
Yeah,
Bring the
should've-
Colorado.
no, it won't make it.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah.
No. I think I'm gonna ride with this guy.
Look, dude, I made it through there in front wheel drive with like basically no rear axle holding on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Bring some tie downs. You're good.
Lots of ratchet straps.
Just after you're set.
Chainsaw, everything. Toilet paper for the dogs.
Yeah, don't bring the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, we didn't use our Max Tracks once. So
No, we did.
I still think those things are useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that's the moral of the story. Throw away your Max Tracks.
Throw away your Max Tracks and stay strapped or get clapped.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and telling the story, guys.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
rad, dude. I've been wanting to hear about it, but like, cause I knew like the base story, but like, yeah, I haven't heard all of it. That's fucking
Well, I
funny.
called him and he kind of told me. He didn't go into detail
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
He just kind of gave me the highlights. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
that
just
was
what I
good.
picked up from your Instagram stories and stuff like that. I was
It looked like a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Broken trust, angry drunk guy, dog shit. Yeah. Lots of straps.
yeah. Right on. Well, you got any plugs? I mean, you want to start, Andrew?
Just S&B filters. Hit us up for some filters and some water tanks and fuel tanks.
How they find you on Instagram, website? What's up?
Find me, on Instagram, just Andrew Barberena.
Okay.
It's Andrew. I think it's Andrew _Barberena.
Yes. Andrew
Think-
_ Barberena is your Instagram.
Yeah, I believe
But
so.
what's SMB's? It's SB filters. Right?
SB filters. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No
Yeah.
and in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. SB filters is that.
The .com or
We're talking
I don't know what the
Instagram.
website. But
okay.
Yeah, for the website,
I want to
Google.
check it out. I just want to see what they have.
Just
for
Google,
the
bro.
time. Oh, I know. I'm
Yeah.
going to, but
SMB filters.
SMB
Google.
filters, I guess. Yeah. All right. I want to check out, see what you got.
for sure.
Yep. And then follow Andrew for his crazy YJ adventure.
Oh, you got some pictures of the YJ on there?
Yeah, definitely. From
Okay.
East Coast wheeling. So
Yeah, let's check that out.
It's done a whole bunch of East Coast wheeling, and now time
East
for that.
Coast.
Do some updates.
Introduce it to the
Good old boy wheeling
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That's for sure.
out there in the sticks.
Making moonshine.
Right?
Oh, damn. What about you, Brandon? You got any?
Yeah. You can follow my page at code_5337. That's Instagram. And check out liquimolly.com for any of your oil needs.
Isn't it Liquid Molly USA or something like that?
USA, Canada.
I think so. No, for the Instagram is Liquimolly USA Canada.
Yeah.
The website is liquimolly.com.
Straight up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I knew there was like some sort of differentiation.
Yeah. Instagram is definitely Liquimolly USA Canada. They can follow the main page also, but the USA stuff is.
That's where they find your events and stuff like locally and all that good
we're
stuff.
doing locally, all that good stuff. We're getting ready for SEMA right now. We were just at Off Road Expo. We had a pretty cool vehicle at Off Road Expo. We had a Brabus Mercedes
Oh, I saw that.
G-Wagon
Yeah.
6x6.
So
So
it was I'm like, well, how the fuck did they get that thing there?
So I've known this guy for a while. He maintains and builds these Mercedes, and this is I didn't know this about these things. It's freaking cool. I'll keep it short. Mercedes actually built that vehicle. It's originally a 6x6 from the factory. It came just like that. It's not even lifted. It came from the factory on 37s.
Yeah.
Like that's how it came.
Legit.
They built
Mercedes.
they built
That video. Yeah.
Yeah, they built 100 for the world, and there's only 10 in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
Dan Bilzerian has one.
Probably, yeah. There's a ton of fakes, is what he was telling me. He's like, there's a ton of fakes out there, and they're horrible, but this is a real one. This is a real Mercedes-built vehicle, and it's a Brabus. And take a stab at the sticker price on it.
$600K.
Okay, what?
Just because it's a 6x6.
I know. I was going to go lower, but I was thinking like 350, but it's probably more than that.
1.5 million.
Holy bejeebas, dude. Yeah.
'Cause it's a Brabus.
I would just say, just that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wild. It was crazy. So we got that for Off Road Expo. We wanted to use it at our booth at Apex SEMA, but it's too big to fit.
So for real?
Yeah. So he has a regular G-Wagon that this is what he does. He check him out. It's Bill Raider Motorsports. He's on Instagram. And he builds G-Wagons. He uses the same axles and portals from the 6x6s, puts them on the G-Wagons, and they're pretty sick.
Portals.
Yeah. So he's
I'm so glad I didn't show up because you asked me to come out. I'd have been there with my dumbass Mini next to a 6x6 Brabus. That actually would have been a good juxtaposition.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been kind of cool.
But so he's got that built for us for Apex SEMA. So we got two booths at Apex SEMA. We got one in the main hall, and then we got another one in, I guess what they're calling like the off-road or overland section. That's new for SEMA this year.
Oh, rad.
And I'll be there at that booth for the overland off-road.
Yeah, it seems like, isn't it like next month?
It's in October.
It's like in 2 weeks.
Oh, it's in
Yeah.
October?
Coming up.
I thought it was in November.
Yeah.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, so we're like gearing up like right now for it.
Everybody is.
I wanted to
Yeah,
try
I'll
and
be
go
there
this year,
too.
but I can't. Yeah, damn it.
And then Andrew will be at the S&B booth.
Oh, they're going to be out there too?
Yep. We'll be
All
there.
right.
Do you know what hall you guys are going to be in?
Not off the top of my head.
Probably in the performance hall is what I would guess. Either that or the main hall. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But they can look it up on the website.
Yeah.
And they'll give you the booth
Yeah, the
number.
maps and all that and
Yeah.
shit, where everything is.
Yep.
I want a ticket. How do you get a ticket? You have to be part of the aftermarket community, right?
Yeah, I forgot exactly what it is you got to do, but you have to be a manufacturer.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't-
like SHOT Show.
Yeah.
You can't
for
be
automotive.
general public.
Damn it.
We had an in. We were gonna go, but I can't. I'm got.
You had an in. I didn't. Who was this in?
To be honest with you, I don't feel like it's that hard to like
No, it's just.
to register for. You just got to register some type of automotive business.
Yeah.
And you guys could probably just like register the.
Yeah, we could if we
media.
really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
media.
a media pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
But yeah.
Okay.
So see us at SEMA and follow us on Instagram. And yeah, good time.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely follow him on Instagram because your YJ's coming out.
Why just
You're
coming
gonna
out?
you're gonna tackle John Bull again and hopefully not
Yeah.
rip off your.
Oh, dude, when that YJ gets back, the boys are back in town, man. It's gonna
Fuck
be
yeah.
hell's gonna break loose. We're gonna go do some dumb shit. In Vegas.
Hell yeah.
For more dumb adventures,
Follow us.
Yeah. Right on. What about you, Jared? You got any plugs?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug up 4122
Hell
Our
yeah.
good buddies. Since you have a Gladiator, you might like this.
Dude, legit.
Yeah. He just came out with I don't know, I think they're out now. I know he's been teasing
Well,
them,
he's
but-
been posting them.
Yeah, so he's got some a billet sway bar end links.
Ooh, billet, fancy.
Yeah, they're fucking
Dude,
rad.
they're
Like, check these
fucking
out.
bling bling, dude.
You know, I like the bling on my Gladiator.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they're
Those are
fucking,
dope.
Yeah.
I like that. That's super.
Well, he
cool.
made the brackets.
He's got a Gladiator, and he's like, "Fuck, dude." He wheeled the
wheels.
shit out of it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's like, "Fuck, what could somebody needs to figure this out?" So you fucking made him.
Yeah. They hang down super low from the factory, and they're super weak, and they bend all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why he redid everything.
they're
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
solid, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, that's an awesome product for that because I've bent mine. I ended up doing a Curry anti-rock, which completely moves it out of the way.
Yeah.
But for someone that doesn't want to do an anti-rock, that's an awesome solution.
yeah,
Yeah.
Solid block of 6061 T6 aircraft grade aluminum. I don't know what that means.
Same
but
shit
it
he
sounds-
makes his hitch slides
Yeah,
out
it
of.
sounds fucking gnarly.
Recovery points. I mean, it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got some rad stuff. So yeah, that's my shout out. 4122 if you're a Jeep fan. And he's gonna make him. He made that one for his Gladiator, but he's gonna make him for other applications soon too. So anybody looking?
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, man. I ain't got
about
no
you?
plugs, dude.
Oh,
I
all right.
mean,
Got any meetups going on? Mini stuff?
yeah. I mean, mini stuff. Yeah. I mean, this weekend. I
Yeah.
mean,
Where you going?
I'm going to do a California Mini Cooper Club. They have a annual run, and I'm going to be the one like Overlandish mini out there. You know, more rally style.
Yeah, represent. You know,
Representing the Liquid Molly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Or Liquid Molly.
Liquid.
Yeah.
Take your max tracks.
Yeah, dude. I need those mini Max tracks.
little
They have those
mini
little
ones.
miniature
Yeah,
ones. Dude.
yeah,
I wanna-
I've seen those.
I want to put them on my roof, dude. But yeah, I'm gonna do that this Saturday. It's a run from Santa Barbara to Solvang area through wine country and like all these like epic photo shoot type
Rad.
spots and
through the hills. And stuff.
yeah, and there's
It's
like
so-
some Lake Vista points and
Nice.
stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. But other than that, man, I ain't got nothing going on. I'm just waiting for this YJ to get here so I can ride shotgun.
Right.
I'll supply him with the beverages and
Fuck yeah.
yeah, man.
do some skiing. I mean,
Right.
What?
never mind.
I know what you mean, but I'm like, what?
Hey, you're a passenger princess, man. You gotta do something.
I told you I will give him beverages
Okay,
and
okay.
I'll have the aux cord and I'll be playing some good music.
Yeah, you
Playing the tunes.
Yeah, man.
And the playlist's all set, man.
That's right, dude.
nice.
So, all right, well,
Cool. Thank you,
Thanks for
gentlemen,
coming,
for
guys.
hanging out.
Yep.
We lagged a little bit. Hopefully, you got some energy. Juice you up some Red Bulls and shit. And
Yeah. No, we're
well, his
good.
Red Bull's literally propping up the mic.
yeah, I know. I need-
It is. So I haven't been able to drink it.
I'm
but it's
ready
all
to hit the gym after this, bro. I'm like
Go.
amped.
Go. Oh man. All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thanks everybody for hanging out, listening, and we'll see y'all around.
All right. Later.
good. See ya.
Laters.